What's up? How is everybody doing, guys? Welcome to the latest edition of the Milan Forum, where we have an open line discussion about everything in Milan. Everybody is welcome, and everybody here is entitled to their own opinions regarding all the different subjects of AC Milan. But before we get going, guys, just a few things I want to discuss before we get going on to the show. First of all, I want to say hello to everybody that is here already. Let's start with Hamza. What's up, Hamza? Yo, 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 how you doing? We got Tick Size. How you doing, Tick Size? Tick Size says hi to all. We got Pete Shoot. What's up, Pete? Right, we already got some conversations going on. Everyone make sure to hit that like button. Help the stream, help the channel grow. You know, apparently when I go to all these other different channels, they say that it helps with the algorithm. I don't know what that means, but I guess it's something I'm supposed to say, so I'll just say it. So hit that like button, guys. Help us and vote that poll that you got down there, guys. We have a lot of interesting subjects here. Once again, guys, today your opinions are valid. Everybody here can say what they want regarding anything they want. This is the Milan Forum after all. And we're going to get into that. Guys, we already have someone backstage waiting. A very special guest waiting backstage. So we're going to get to that just in a second. We got Skiller, the newly promoted mod chat. Skiller, what's up? Good evening, afternoon, morning. Buona mattina, buongiorno, buonasera. Tixai says, I'm so excited for Monday evening to come around. Yeah, I mean, they want to make us suffer, right? They want us to wait till the last game. We have to be the last game of the Serie A. Why can't we be the first one? We have to be the last one. Well, guys, I guess that's how it works. We are the main event, so that's the way it is. Milan gets to be the main event, the first round of the Serie A. We have Elliott Management. Joe Jacob says Elliott Management wants to sign quality players for free of charge, and now Milan are not looking like a Champions League them at all. Hey guys, these are all opinions that you are free to have. This is the Milan Forum. Carlo Moretti, ole, Carlo Moretti, ole, e di colori che noi portiamo sono la gloria, sono la gloria. That's it. If I knew how to sing that song, I would sing it. What's up, Carlo? How you doing? How is everybody doing? Peter Dasorio, hi, and Forza Milan, back to you. Daniel Ford, grande to you, Daniel, and thank you. All right, guys, so before we get into our guest and before we get everybody going in the backstage, I do want to say some things that I want to kind of like, let's say maybe clear up, things like that. So I want everybody to understand, you know, that when I say that I think Milan can achieve the treble, I'm not saying that Milan will achieve the treble. I'm just saying Milan can achieve the treble. Okay, so I'm not being an EPL, you know, English supporter that has already put the Scudetto on my shirt and put the Champions League here and the Coppa Italia here, you know? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I'm very confident in the direction we're going, that if we are lucky, luck has a big part to play. Even if you're a really big team, even if you're the best team, luck has a part to do with it. I mean, we can arguably say that Manchester City last season was the best team, and we can see how they were unlucky, right? So luck wasn't on their side. Actually, it was the opposite. A mistake, a defensive mistake led to a goal, and a team with an inferior roster beat them in the Champions League. So I'm just saying that Milan does have a roster that, with luck, and if things go the right direction, they can go far, and maybe they can even win the Champions League. That maybe, okay? Milan can be the Porto, right? The Marseille and these kind of teams that you don't think they can win. Milan is that kind of team. And I want to repeat something, all right? Do not think of Milan right now as a team that should be at the same par as PSG, as Man City, as far as who we get, right? Because we're not that. That is not who we are right now. All right. This is a growing process. A child is born as a baby, then he becomes an infant, right? And then it becomes a child, and then it becomes a teenager, then it becomes an adult, then it becomes, and so forth. Everything has its time. Everything needs its moment to grow. Okay, so Milan is in this process of growth, and we cannot expect Milan to be on the same level of these other teams buying all these great players. You know, like Messi, Hakimi, like PSG, or even these English teams that have endless amounts of money. Okay, so we have to understand where we are and where we fit, okay? But that doesn't mean that we have to feel inferior to any other team. It doesn't mean that at all, because behind these colors are 100 years of history that very other few clubs have achieved. And this history is not something to be taken for granted. It's not something to be taken you don't underestimate Milan's history and the DNA that Milan has created for itself. So I'm just saying, sometimes the young kids win, all right? Most of the times they don't, but sometimes they do. So when I say these things like, hey, Milan's going to win the treble, Milan can win the Champions League, understand that I'm not being an overconfident piece of POS, right? I'm not doing that. I'm not disrespecting the other teams. I'm just saying what I actually believe. I believe that Milan has a DNA, has a history, has a tradition. And right now, for the first time in many, many years, I feel that Milan has regained this spirit that they've had in the past, and it's the same spirit that has helped them win big tournaments. All right, so this spirit is back. So we should be happy that this spirit is back. So what I suggest to my Milan brothers and sisters, my Milanisti, is don't look at the other teams and feel jealous. Don't be jealous of PSG, of Bayern, of the Man City, because they have the money to buy any player they want. You know, don't be because we are going to get there. First of all, second of all, they're not even close to. I mean, remember what our trophy cabinet looks like. Actually, let's use a different word. We don't have a trophy cabinet. We have a trophy museum. They have a trophy cabinet. So let's remember that. When you have a trophy museum like we do, that means that the players have a certain responsibility. The players have a responsibility. The fans give out this responsibility to the players. So I'm saying that this time around, with this spirit, with what Maldini has been able to build with the tools that he has been given, we have to give him praise, and we have to be with the team. Whether we lose, whether we win, it doesn't matter. We always have to be with the team, because at the end of the day, with the tools that have been given to Maldini, this team has achieved everything it has needed to achieve, and it has been a gradual process, and it has been done gratefully, right? And let's talk about what the achievements were. Maldini said, first achievement in Europa League, crossed out, done. Second achievement, Champions League. Now we're there, crossed out. And now what did Maldini say? He said the next achievement, he didn't say it's not to win this year, okay? We are going to play to win, because that's what Milan does. Milan always plays to win. And trust me, I'll repeat it. We can win. We can win trophies. But the achievement if we want to keep our feet grounded, the achievement from now onwards, Maldini's words, is to make that top four spot 10 years in a row. Why? Why is that important? Why is it important to make that Champions League spot 10 years in a row? Why? Because the more money, right? The coefficient becomes larger. So next time we're not going to be in pot four, we're going to be in pot three, right? Or pot two, or even maybe pot one. Because this year, the Scudetto, we're contenders, guys. We are contenders for the Scudetto. All right. Don't think, if you think that Milan is just going to play for the top four spot, if you think we're inferior to any of these other teams, remember we finished second last season. We are a top four team, but we can win the Scudetto. So by achieving that top four spot, whether we win the Scudetto or we don't, Milan will grow into this glorious team that it deserves to be. This is Maldini's plan. And this is what we have to support the team for. This is what we want. Now, I'm saying, guys, maybe because I'm over, I don't know. It's just for my nature. My nature is I'm very positive. You know, I don't know. But I'm also realistic. I'm telling you one last time, and then we'll get the show started. This spirit, the spirit of the red and black devil, is back, guys. It is back. And this spirit has won us big trophies. I've seen the spirit before, and it's back. And last thing I want to say, a lot of you guys are saying you're worried that we're in pot four, therefore we're going to get, you know, strong teams like Bayern, like PSG, whatever. Guys, the truth is we are the pain in the ass. We are. Because all these teams that in pot one, pot two, and pot three, they are worried because in pot four, as I said last night, lurks a devil that nobody wants to face. Okay, it's to no one's convenience that AC Milan is in pot four, because it is to no one's convenience to face Milan, especially at the San Siro. Guys, having said that, Forza Milan, as always, we're going to get the show started. Let me say one more round of hellos. Forza, what's up? What's up, Lion Bell? How you doing? Samson Skyboy, Forza Milan. We should never feel inferior to any team. Siamo Milan, exactly. Well said. Roy, how do I get the Blue Knighted? How do you get Blue Knighted? Well, guys, the Blue Knights for now have finished. So the next round of Blue Knights are going to happen in the January transfer market. All right. Keep on being faithful to the channel. Keep on supporting AC Milan, and you will get your Blue Knight. How about that? It's painful. Milan unable to sign Yassine Ali for 10 million. Couldn't sign Caio George, and now going for a Monaco Deadwood to be backup striker. They're jealous of 7. In Paolo, I trust. Always, guys. We are lucky to have Paolo. Nevertheless, I support Milan always. Joe, I trust me, Milan is going to make you happy this season. It's going to make you happy. We also need the league to step up their game in TV revenue. Can't believe how far ahead we are in the PL. Absolutely. Ollie, what's up, Ollie? We're on the cusp of turning 10 years of net yearly losses to make an actual net profit if we make CL next season. Guys, we're this close to making it. Carlo Moretti, Milan and UCL is like apple pie and ice cream. They just go together. Absolutely. They'll never see Kunic coming. All right, guys, it is time to start this show. It is open lines. This is the Milan Forum, guys, so anybody is welcome. We are going to welcome the first guest. He's been waiting in the back room, backstage, a regular to RossonARI TV, the one and only Rohit. How you doing, sir?
The happiest I've been in the last 2 3 days. Finally, somebody from India has secured the Italian Serie A TV rights, and I'll be able to see Milan playing week in week out again.
Nice, excellent. Tell us about that. So, what was going on in India with the Serie A TV rights?
It's not just in India. Serie A has still not sold their rights to many countries. I think Australians are still in the dark as to who's gonna show the Serie A. In India, the richest man in India has bought the TV rights of Serie A, and
Nice.
they're gonna show it on MTV. And there's an app called Boot, which will be streaming Serie A like week in week out.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Just a few days before the league starts, huh? So that's excellent news. Who is this guy? Who is this guy that bought the rights? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so he is. His name is Mukesh Ambani. He's the 10th richest man in the world. He's the owner of a company called Reliance. They have telecommunications. They have petroleum. They even own a super league, that is a Indian Super League in India, which is the football. I mean football equivalent of like Serie A stuff like that. It's called Indian Super League, and then they also have a cricket team in the Indian Premier League.
Okay, nice. Let me ask you, why is he interested in the Serie A? What's his affiliation with the Serie A?
Yeah, so he owns a company called Viacom 18, which is having many channels, and they already secured the rights for La Liga. So now they're expanded to English Premier League. I mean, sorry, to Italian Serie A, and they're planning to start their own sports channel.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's not just Serie A. It's Serie A, La Liga, and EPL, you said?
No, no, no. EPL has gone to another company.
Oh, okay, okay.
EPL, I mean, it's broadcasted by a group called Star. I mean, if anything, I have to compliment Star for the way they broadcast English Premier League, because as everybody from India knows, India is a tough market to crack, given how here people are more interested in cricket rather than in football. But since Premier League broadcast started in 2002, I think that the way they have broadcasted, the kind of marketing they have done, uh, people are given to believe that Burnley is a bigger team than Lazio.
Yeah, well, this is the story of the Serie A versus the Premier League everywhere, except for very few places. Would you say that in India in general, the Premier League is more followed? Like you have more people interested in English teams rather than Italian teams in general?
If I take 100 football fans, I would only find like 10 football fans who follow Serie A. The rest 90 would be consisting of the Premier League teams and Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Well, listen, I don't blame the TV rights to be honest with you, with the Serie A TV rights. I mean, yes, that has part that has got to do with it, undoubtedly. But the thing is, if I look in these past 10, 15 years, the Champions League has been dominated by Spanish teams and English teams. And then you have the occasional Bayern that wins it. So, Italian teams are losing 7-0 to Manchester United. Milan has been absent for 7 years. Juventus loses against Porto in the quarterfinals. I mean, this is if you don't win, this is what you get. If you don't win, this is what you don't get. Guys, I'm telling you that the only thing that matters is one thing, all right? It is only one thing that matters. And there was a man that used to own our club that knew exactly what that was. And this is what it is, guys. This is what it is. This is the only thing that matters. You get all of that, and then the whole world wants to see what you're all about. But Italian club teams have completely forgotten about this. They don't do this anymore. They do not do this anymore. They have forgot. They have no more tradition of winning. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Now it's time for Milan to bring this back. So this is part
I,
of it. But
I I think
but
I think Berlusconi was a visionary in many ways, not just in terms of winning. I think he actually brought in. I mean, he actually showed the Serie A how to spend money and win trophies, and even actually in terms of marketing and expanding Serie A, he actually was a visionary, and he actually made Milan a global team instead of just limiting themselves to Serie A and domestic success.
yes,
I think
sir.
that's where we as a team differ from Inter Milan and Juventus, because Juventus are mostly known for being a domestic team, and Inter Milan is somewhere between domestic and international. But AC Milan is always the team that excels in Europe. So I think
Correct.
that is where I think Berlusconi actually had a different vision, and he was actually a visionary.
Yeah, absolutely. And that DNA that Berlusconi and the history of Milan has bestowed upon the club. Now it's time that not only we go up there and win for ourselves because we deserve it, but we also do it as an example for the other teams, because the other teams have no example. Juventus has not been that example. Roma has been the complete opposite. Inter, I mean, if we look at Inter last year, they couldn't even beat Shakhtar Donetsk and Black, whatever that team is called. So we have to be the torchbearers of the Serie A when it comes to Europe. It is our responsibility. Otherwise, what you just said, out of 100 people, only 10 people know what the Serie A is. It's always going to be like this. It's going to be even less. It is our job and it is our responsibility to do this. Guys, we have another guest in the backstage, a newly promoted mod. We have the one and only 3, 2, 1, Skillard. What's up, Skillard? How you doing?
How's everyone doing? How
Hi,
you doing,
Skilled.
Rohit?
How are
Excellent,
you?
excellent,
I'm good.
excellent.
Skilled, which place are you from?
I'm in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, so I think you guys will be watching on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a big plus because it's well, it should be for free. I don't think they're going to charge it, but I did read somewhere that you might need to subscribe to YouTube Premium, which I think is a lot more accessible. I just wanted to comment on the fact is that I personally, in the case of our visibility for Serie A, a bit concerned. Even if you see like the guys on the comments, I think we're of a certain age. I don't want to call us a bit old or anything, but
Like
how
Lucas calls us boomers.
yeah, and that's the thing. Lucas might be the youngest person that I know that's active in our channel here. And this is what I see as a big of a concern is that if the Serie A doesn't step up their game and we don't get any of these young viewers, where's the next generation of Milan fans? Are we still going to be the same bunch of guys talking about Milan in the next 20, 30 years? Because if we don't get the visibility, it's going to be on the decline. No one's going to watch it. And with all this mess about which countries are not getting the TV rights, some are on YouTube. And let's admit it, guys, if it's on YouTube, there's definitely no further promotion beyond the game. Because if you see the EPL content, and one of the things that I do admire about them, they really hype it up. It's like, okay, Man City, they hype up the story before the game. Then they have like so many of their so-called legends to speak about the team and what's been going on. We have legends of our own, but we can't seem to get them together to actually hype up the game between us and another big side.
No, you're
I
absolutely
mean,
right about that.
I know kids who don't know who is Marco van Basten, and that kind of pains me a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, Italy does have this disadvantage of the language barrier. That's just a thing. So they don't seem to want to understand that, right? You can still see it today in 2021, not just Milan, but all the other channels too. All the other clubs too. They kind of keep it mostly domestic. Let's say 80% domestic, and then they try to do outreach. So there's that problem. And then the other problem is that, I've said this before. When I hear when I look at Italian games and I listen to these English commentators, it's like, are you trying to make me fall asleep? It's like, come on, man, put some energy into it. At least pretend. At least pretend you're enjoying what you're seeing. Because when I watch the EPL, right, and I see a guy, he does a double step over, takes a shot, hits the crossbar, the crowd goes aghast, and the commentator says, "This is why the EPL is the greatest league in the world," in the Serie A is like, oh well, look at that. Okay, he hit the crossbar. Well, it's a corner. It's like, come on, at
Yeah.
least put some freaking energy into it.
One of the things that I think is important is that the Serie A, they need to spend a lot of time to really craft their own identity when it comes to the marketing. One of the things that I really like, and of course this is no offense to anyone else, is that if you see some of the highlights of the Serie A, I think they're going through the Coppa Italia, some of the earlier rounds. So some of the highlights are actually commentated in English by an Italian, so you hear his accent. I like that sense of identity, that it's someone who's from the league, from there, speaking and very passionate about the game. And guys, you
Mm.
got to admit, even before COVID, if you watch some of the games, the attendance is barely like what, 10, 20%. You can't
Oh
even
yeah,
hear
yeah,
the crowd roar when there's a shot on goal. Whereas in the EPL, I think minimum is what, 60, 70%. Whenever there's a
oh
shot,
yeah,
everyone's like, wow.
yeah, yeah. No, no, that's another thing. That's another thing. In the EPL, no matter what game it is, the stadium looks packed. It feels packed. In Italy, is like, I don't know. It's like you have these huge stadiums that are 50, even, yeah, as you said, pre-COVID, 15% of the stadium is occupied, and the 85% is empty. I mean, this is not a good look. This is not a good look either. So what are you going to do?
Well,
But
actually,
I
that's
do want to say something. Sorry, Rohit, I mean, go ahead. I do want to reiterate something. The Italian commentators are brilliant. They are brilliant, and it's such a shame that they can't do that in English. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Ray. Go ahead.
yeah. So I was gonna say that the 2018, sorry, not 2008, 2008 subprime crisis actually had an effect on Italian attendances. I think Italian attendances shrunk after when there was a crisis and people didn't have enough money to attend the games, and in between that even we became really bad. But actually there has been one news which came out today. I don't know how extensive it is, but Milan is going to broadcast. Milan TV is going to be broadcasted on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it is only available in Italy, but if that is the case, I think
Yeah,
this is a
that's what I heard.
huge step for a club like Milan, and it's actually very really great to see content that can be put on Amazon Prime. I
Yeah,
mean, it would generate a lot of revenue as well as a lot of attention. I mean, just like Skinner made a great point about future generations. I think if we actually start making programs about our past and our glories and our tactical visions and stuff like that, I think it would hook the youngsters and get more fans to follow Calcio, and
yeah,
we could actually put up the demand to make have more TV rights, and not like have it on the last day of the season.
yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
it.
Rohit,
I
Rohit,
have
sorry,
I
Rohit, let me interrupt you for 1 second and then keep on going. Guys, shout out to Red Devil Studio. He had us yesterday on his channel. Big shout out to Red Devil Studio. We did Serie A tier list yesterday. Red Devil Studio is an awesome guy. G, we love G. He's basically family. He's also a devil, but he's a Premier League devil. We're a Serie A devil. So much respect to Red Devil Studio. Guys, check out the video we did on the channel, Serie A. Like his page, subscribe to his page. Big shout out. Much love, G. All right, sorry, Rohit. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I wrote an email to the Serie A. I've been campaigning against them since last 4 or 5 days. I mean, I've been mentioning them on Twitter every time. And guess what? Guess what new measure they came up with? They're gonna have a new award called the most good field. That is, whoever has the best ground will be awarded an award. This is the most innovative thing that Syria has brought up. They still have not sold their rights in many countries. This is the kind of the red tapeism and bottlenecks they have in Italian football that they so cannot solve. And I mean, if they actually want to even compete against the English Premier League, they need to invest a lot of money and change the bureaucracy that has been so really kind of destroying Italian football. Because if we go at this pace, forget Juventus and Inter Milan, I think the whole of Italian football will start being a kind of a feeder club to the English Premier League.
Yeah, yeah, it looks it might go that way. It might go that way. But the thing is, like, we don't need to necessarily compete with the Premier League. We don't need to compete with anybody. We just need to get people that are are of today, not these whoever's running Serie A marketing. It probably still lives in 1972 and doesn't understand what young people want to see today. Because you're right, there's so many things that they could do. There's so many documentaries, right? You could do so much content you could put out, and because what people love to see is that backstage kind of stuff, the team's training, the team's getting ready, like actually the EPL does that, right? They go in the locker room, they film the locker rooms. That stuff is awesome. Put that stuff on YouTube. Make it free. Make it free. Put it on YouTube before the game. Promote the games. Put your brain to work, guys. Put your brain to work. Said, yeah, do something.
Sorry.
UEFA, 1 minute, Skillet.
Yeah.
UEFA had a 5 minute documentary on Coverciano. Coverciano is the academy where they train coaches. It was absolutely brilliant. You should watch it on YouTube.
Oh yeah, really nice, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
they should do that every time. Every time. Go ahead, Skiller.
Yeah, Rohit, on that point is that I do understand the difficulty of Serie A is that if they're trying to sell their rights or trying to get revenue essentially for the league, they also got to take into account the factor is that what are the clubs themselves also doing in order to promote and really to rally around all those viewers? Because cumulatively, I see is the approach is a bit fragmented here, and I'll give you one example. Yeah. Sometimes I watch some of the commentary from ESPN on YouTube. Yeah, ESPN. What do you call it? ESPN FC, something like that. And they have Alessandro Del Piero. Beyond him, and I think other than him and Frank LeBeuf, everyone else to me is a person is unknown. They haven't won shit in their life. So, what is the strategy in terms of getting the legends of Serie A going to maybe other channels in whatever language? Promoting it in a way because through their own experiences and really bringing in the viewership to the league. And one of the things that I have to applaud, and I don't know why this is not being done in a concerted manner. A few months ago during the Euros, a Malaysian TV had Nesta commentating on during the post game. Why is this not being done more often? Nesta, he's a legend, by the way. He's won more than some of the other commentators have have so many opinions. So I think between all the Serie A clubs, there also need to be some sort of concerted strategy to say, guys, let's come together, let's get the message out there. Once we have so many fans, it's much easier for the Serie A to get those to go to other companies and sell the rights, get the revenue, and again it'll be redistributed back. So within the cycle, there needs to be some a lot of concerted effort.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of that. I agree with all of that.
I think Skillard has a really good point there. One example which I kind of had a thought on was like very few people know about Torino's air disaster, the Super Yaga air disaster in 1949. Those days there was no Champions League, but if there was a Champions League those days, I think Torino would have done a three-peat or something like that, because Torino's team was one of the best teams in the world at that point. And then there was a plane crash and it killed all of their great players, and they haven't still recovered from that. Similarly, Manchester United also faced such kind of a disaster where they lost all of their players. Even now, even I'm not saying this is a bad thing, or I'm not saying that it's like it's Manchester United trying to gain something out of this. But every year, Manchester United has a sort of a kind of a remembrance, trying to remember all of the people that lost their lives, and they actually speak about it. Like Roy said, there's a lot of backroom details about it. There's a lot of interviews held. There's a lot of talk about it. I mean, how much does Torino actually talk about this? How much do they invest in
Nothing.
themselves?
Nothing.
Nothing. I
Nothing.
mean, it's like Cairo does not even. I wonder if Cairo himself knows about Torino's history. I mean, it's actually to answer Skillet's point. There's a lot of I mean there's a lot of cheap they actually have a lot of small wars between them. Lotito and Cairo do not see face eye to eye to each other, and then there is a lot of problems between Cagliari and Napoli. So they all have these small clan wars in between them, and because of this, there's a lot of bottlenecks. If let's say Lotito brings forward a point, Cairo will veto it, and that kind of law would not be put into motion. Or if Cairo brings up a point, Lotito will veto against that, and that law would not put into motion. So these clan wars in the wars in between these presidents are actually destroying Syria football as a whole. And how Roy said, all of them are dinosaurs. They actually do not know what to do or how to take forward, and they actually live in this kind of delusionary reality where they think that they're as great as the English Premier League is.
You know what, Rohit? The problem is, at least this is my opinion. I do not want to offend anybody. The problem is not just Serie A, though, when it comes to this dinosaur mentality. The problem is the country. The country is kind of like that. So no offense to any Italians here, but it is a very a country that is always kind of like 30 years behind, you know. Anyway, guys, guys, we have another guest backstage. We have coming in right up. But before we invite the next guest backstage, I do want to say something. I bet that most people know more about Nottingham Forest being a team that has Champions Leagues than Torino being actually one of the greatest Italian teams in the history of Italy that helped Italy win World Cups. Nobody knows this. So, guys, that was an excellent point by Rohit. Excellent point. Guys, backstage, we have another guest coming up. 1, 2, 3, Red John. What's up, Red John? How you doing?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Excellent.
So, yeah, I
What's
actually
going
wanted
on,
to.
John?
Well, as usual, bro. Like, I just wanted to chip in my idea about it as well. I think Italian football has a problem in its DNA, man. I think the government also adds to the problem because everything in Italy is done with 20 years of delay. It's impossible to build a stadium. It's impossible to get rights for whatever sponsorship you need to. Everything is more. It's harder, more difficult. I think Serie A needs to do something just like the English Premier League did in the '92. Just make a new version, hire someone, a company which advertises your league. I don't know, hire Rock Nations or something. Do something different, because the way, and not just that, even the commentators. What are these commentators? The English commentators of Serie A are awful. I cannot count the times that the commentator would say Meite for Kessi and Kessi for Meite 30,000 times. It's just embarrassing. Just at least the least the league can do is demand for better commentators, or commentators that know actual facts about Serie A. How many times have you watched the Serie A game and the commentator who's British or American, or it doesn't matter, is oh, by the way, Chelsea has this player that is really good. Dude, I'm watching the Serie A game. Let's not do advertisement to the competitor. I've never watched an EPL game where they are oh, by the way, in Serie A, this and that. Never. They just talk about the EPL.
Actually, when they talk about the Serie A, they talk shit about the Serie A.
Exactly.
In the EPL.
It's embarrassing. Why do we advertise our competitors? I don't get it. Do you give the rights to the channel? At least tell the channel or the company which gets the rights to the Serie A to get decent commentators.
I agree
the least thing to do.
And listen, and guys, and I do want to remind you guys that when we do the watch-alongs, we are going to do the commentary. We're going to do AC Milan commentary. We're going to do it properly. We're not going to make you fall asleep. We're going to do it the proper way. We're going to make sure that you're watching an AC Milan game, not some dude who wishes he was watching Arsenal play against Brentford rather than AC Milan against Juventus. So yes. So guys, speaking of which, Monday, the main event of the first round of the Serie A, AC Milan Sampdoria. Join us for the watch along. Put that shit on mute when you're watching us, and follow us. All right. So yeah,
Roy,
guys. Yeah, go
just a
ahead.
question. Since in this region it's on YouTube, is there any chance that you guys can even legally stream it via the channel?
Well, that's a good question because so it's on YouTube in Saudi Arabia, right?
In the Middle East, I think. Yeah.
Oh wait. Is El Ahly Saudi Arabia?
Al Ahly, yeah.
Oh, okay. Jovinko just left El Ahly, right? Do you know about that?
No,
yeah.
I don't really follow the teams here.
Oh, okay. So you said the Middle East is going to be, and the whole Middle East is going to be on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, but not all games. I saw the adverts. In the ads,
it's like 5 games or something.
The big games are on YouTube.
I wonder if that's a thing that can be done. If it is, then we'll do it.
I honestly doubt it because they are protected under proxy servers. Like you cannot actually watch Serie A on YouTube if you are in a different country. So if you actually stream the gameplay, then you are basically interfering with the rights of the company that holds the rights for Serie A in your country.
Yes, I think if we do it, it has to be with VPN. But I don't know. We'll see. When we get there, we'll see. But it is something that we have thought about. It's probably going to be done by Ari and I. We lost Rohit, but I'm sure he'll be back. Rohit goes in and out. It is something that I thought about. Let's see. Rohit, every time you speak, you ooze knowledge. Milan could definitely benefit from the ideas of how to make Milan and Serie A grow. You will be a great addition to their board staff. Keep it up. There you go, Rohit. There you go, my man. Get your resume in there, Rohit. We will cheer you on because I completely agree with Vic D's message right here. What's up, Mustafa? How you doing? All right, guys. Before we get into the subjects I want to talk
Roy,
about,
just sorry to interrupt you. Came to know that Florenzi to Milan is a done deal. He signed the contract.
Guys, okay, perfect. And that is exactly where I wanted to go. Look at this.
And Pellegri's agent is at Casa Milan.
Okay, nice. Pellegri?
Pellegri. Pietro Pellegri.
All right. Well, guys, listen, if you want to join the Milan Forum, this is your time to give your takes because we're not going to do a 7-hour stream, guys. So take advantage of it because now we're going to get into the opinion section of the show, and we're going to start right away with your thoughts on Florenzi. I don't want to necessarily get into debates right now. I just want to hear your opinion about, and then we're going to have, maybe we're going to have the section where we can get into debates. But for now, it's just opinion-based, guys. Even if you have the most negative opinion, tell me. I want to hear it. Nobody's going to challenge it. If you have the most positive opinion, tell me. I want to hear it. Nobody's going to challenge it. I just want to hear your opinions. And this is this part of the show. All right, so we're going to go in order. Let's start with Skiller. Thoughts on Florenzi?
As a proven player, quite all right with the signing. My concern actually is not so much on Florenzi, unless he has an injury case, which then I would be quite pissed off. My concern is more towards Kalulu, because the way that I see Florenzi signing, it gives me the vibes of shitting on Kalulu, Hauger style, and this is something that I would be quite disappointed in because Kalulu does have quite a big room to grow. So where is he going to find the minutes? Even in the last season, he found minutes through Gabia injury, most of it, and after that, you could say he faded a bit. I do want to see these younger players grow. Let's look at the solution for everyone, not just for Florenzi. I'm sure Florenzi will get game time, he'll get minutes, but I don't want it to be a case whereby then people starting to question Kalulu, like they question Hauger, or maybe he's not doing well in training, maybe he doesn't play well with the team. Those kind of things are so negative.
All right, okay. So your opinion is not so much that you're happy about Florenzi, you're more kind of disappointed because of what this might mean for Kalulu.
Yeah.
Okay, very, very interesting. Nice. All right, and maybe after everybody gets their take in, we might do a short segment of maybe just seeing if anybody wants to challenge anyone's opinion. But let's keep those segments fairly short. All right, Rohit, you're next. What do you think? Thoughts on Florenzi?
So Florenzi for me has the experience. He's played in the big games, and like Skillet said, if he's injury prone, but if he stays injury free, I think he could give Calabria a good run for his money, and that's the kind of selection headache that coach actually needs. Last year, Dalot could not challenge Calabria, neither could Kalulu. And Kalulu was really too young to challenge Calabria, but Florenzi is a different gravy. And one thing that we discussed on the last stream is that this also actually gives Pioli some kind of tactical variations that he could try out in terms of a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3. So I think, and also since it's a loan financially, looking at the financial side, it's a loan with an option to buy that can become an obligation in terms if we qualify for the Champions League. So we are getting a good backup player who can give us a tactical variation only for 1 million. And the best thing of all is that he actually wants to play for us. So you have a player who's willing to play and who is passionate about the club, who is coming to Milan. And one more thing is that he actually also helps us in terms of the homegrown quota. So UEFA has a homegrown quota where a 23-man squad needs to consist of 8 players playing who has played with in the academy or in the same country for minimum of 3 years between the age of 15 and 21. So Florenzi qualifies for that. So now we have 7 homegrown players, and if we take one more, then it would be 8. So Florenzi actually, for me, if he stays fit, ticks a lot of boxes.
Nice. Okay, so for you, it's a very positive. Excellent, excellent take. Really like that take. Okay, let's go to the last take. Red John, what do you think? What are your thoughts on Florenzi?
I think he's a good player. I think he's gonna be a backup though. I don't think he's gonna be able to take Calabria's starting position. The reason being because Florenzi is not really a defensive right back, and from the left side we got Teo, who's always going forward. So I don't think Pioli will actually put Florenzi as the starter of the team. I think it's going to be more of the guy you put on when you actually need to score a goal and you don't mind that much the defensive part. Calabria is just too solid in the defense to be replaced by anyone right now. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't change Calabria with any other right back in the league or in the leagues, to be honest. He provides that solid defensive right side. Florenzi in itself, I think he's a good player, experience. He has played the Champions League before. He's played at Roma, even though he is a little bit of a Roma reject in itself. But I think he's gonna do fine. It's just the kind of signing that doesn't really make me happy, nor does it make me sad. It's just a signing. It's a depth signing.
Okay, nice, guys. So overall, we have mostly positive comments. Skillard, maybe more negative because of Kalulu. Guys, I'm not going to do the challenging today. Do you guys have anything you want to challenge each other with? If not, we can move on.
I just add one thing, and I think Red John touched upon it. In my opinion, I don't think Florenzi has much of a choice of where he wants he wants to go. So the move for him to drop his salary, it seems to be like, okay, thanks for that. However, it's not like there's a queue of people waiting to take him into the team. So you could say it's a win-win for both sides.
And I 100% agree with this because I've also been hearing people calling on Kessie. Why isn't he renewing? Like, dudes, let's start calling on the management. Why aren't they giving him the money he deserves? He has
Let's
been
leave
a,
that. Let's
yeah.
leave that subject to next one. Let's stick with Florence.
I just wanted to speak about Kalulu since Skiller started on that subject. I think Kalulu seems better off as a center back rather than right back because I think in terms of offensive productivity, Kalulu isn't good enough like as Calabria is or what Leo Hernandez is. And I think with his kind of pace and his quick feet, he seems better off as a center back. And with I think since Romagnoli is not all that quick, he can make a really good substitute for Tomori in case Kier is injured.
No, but
Okay.
Rohit, that's the you in a way you've touched on the answer itself. We've seen him more as a centre back than a right back. I mean, that's quite obvious. So it's the way that I'm worried about such statements is that it's heading in the Hauger sort of direction. You know, oh, he's not that good in his natural position. He should be somewhere else, but we won't really have game time there. So it's a downward spiral for these sort of players, and this is my concern.
Actually, Skillet, Kalulu played as a centre back for the Leon Academy as well. He's not a proper right back. He played in as the centre back in a three at the back formation as well.
But we
He's
brought him in as
actually
a right
played
back,
in
right?
multi. Pardon?
We brought him in as a right back. This is my understanding.
Actually, that's the thing. We are actually signing players who can play in multiple positions. For example, Florenzi can play as a right wing back, right center midfield, and a right back. So we can play these
And the
players
central
in
midfield.
and a central midfield. So he can play in multiple positions. So that's the kind of signings that we are actually trying to make so that we can actually change our tactical flex. We can bring in tactical flexibility.
Yes, and to close this conversation, because I do want to move on to the next one, it is true that Kalulu can play center defense. Probably that has been his better position in this. I mean, I guess that's objective, subjective, depending on the opinion. He has played center back pretty well, but he can also play right back, so he can play both positions. Whether or not Florenzi puts him on the sidelines, we will see. We will see if this is something that Skiller, you're right about. But anyway, guys, let's close the Florenzi thing because we have a lot of things to talk about. I don't want to stay too long on one subject. And to close with Florenzi, guys, subject, we're going to close with a poll, which was: Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied with Florenzi's signing? 81% of our viewers today said yes. 18% said no. So overwhelmingly, our viewers are happy with this signing. Okay, everybody had some excellent takes about Florenzi. Let's move on to the next one. And Red John, we are going to get to Kessie. But the next one is Rohit. You touched on it. You said Pellegrini, right? So Pellegrini is the youngster that Milan have been saying. Well, at least it looks like he's going to be the third striker youngster that Milan has been talking about for the whole summer. So I want to know what your thoughts are on this particular player.
So my
Okay, you
my
go first. You go first.
Yeah, my first impression. I mean, my first impression on Pellegrini came when he scored against Roma in Francesco Totti's last game for Genoa. He came on as a 16-year-old teenager, and then that was the same summer where Mbappe left to PSG, and this Monaco had this huge 400 million transfer summer, and they tried to kind of make up for Mbappe's transfer with Pellegrini. But ever since that, he's having pubalgia and many different issues. He
Mm,
still has his ACL is anterior cruciate ligament. He has his ACLs intact, which is a huge kind of huge thing for me. I thought, I mean, it seems like all of this happened a long while ago. So when I was checking the internet for information on him, I saw that Pellegrini is still only 20 years old. So he's just 20 years old. He's younger than Leao. He's younger than Hauga. He's about the same age as Kalulu is, or even younger than Kalulu as well. So he's actually still the same age. I mean, he's still only 20. I think that if he can stay injury free and with the kind of tutelage that he can get under Zlatan and Giroud, two world class strikers, I think he can be actually a great player. In terms of technicality, for me, he seems as a very modern striker. He's not a very quick player, but he's actually good with his feet. He can dribble the ball with the ball very well. I think as a third striker, I'm not very sure about Zlatan being injury free this season. So I think as a third striker and being a backup to Giroud, I don't think we can spend. And since we can't spend too much money, I think this is a great option, especially since he's Italian as well.
Okay, so pretty positive. Listen, something maybe I should have done for the Florenzi thing, and also to get the chat involved. I want you guys to give me a rating 1 out of 10. So let's just step. Okay, I loved your take, and Rohit, great take, and I think I agree with everything you said pretty much. Going back to Florenzi, just real fast, and even the chat, I want to know what is your rating 1 out of 10, Skillert Florenzi.
6.
6. Rohit?
6.5.
Red John?
6.
All right, my rating for Florenzi is 8. Okay, chat, let me know what your rating for Florenzi is, and let's go. And now, from now on, when you do your take on the players, give me your rating. So, Rohit, what is your rating for Pellegrini?
I would say 6.5.
6.5. All right. Okay, let's go with Red John next, and then we'll finish with Skiller. Red John, what is your thoughts on Pellegrini?
About Pellegrini, I think this just makes no sense. Like, this guy in the last 4 seasons has been injured 720 days. 720 days.
That's a lot. Holy crap.
It's crazy. Like, almost 2 full seasons he has not been playing because he has been injured. The problem I have with this signing is that, in my opinion, the third choice striker is going to have a lot of play time. We have Ibra, who's 40 years old, and in my opinion, he will play even less than he did last season. And last season, he only played 40% of the games. This time, it's going to be even less. And we have another guy who's 35 years old, who's Giroud. And Giroud, I don't think he's like Giroud in the last 5 seasons has not been a starter. We don't know how this guy handles injuries, if he's actually playing consistently. We just don't know that. And having a third option striker who's, even though he's young, he's 20 years old, is massively injury prone, it means that in the end we will still play with Leao up front. Even though we have 3 strikers. Like, that's exactly what we are trying to avoid. Why at least get me a striker who's not injury prone? Please do that. Like, what's the point of getting someone? And if Ibra, because in my idea, Ibra is going to be almost always injured. So Giroud getting injured means that we are hanging by a very, very small margin of playing Leao against the striker. Therefore, my grade to this is like 4 out of 10 because we could do better.
All right. Wow. Okay, so there you go. A much more, let's say, I don't want to call it negative. I don't want to call it a negative take, but maybe more a take where you have more concerns about this particular option. Okay, and let's okay. So you give it a 4. You said, Red John, right?
Say it again.
Did you say you give it a 4?
A 4, not because of the player. The player might, I don't know the player. The player might be good. He's 20 years old.
Yeah,
the problem I have is 720 days injured in the last 4 seasons. That's crazy. That's crazy. So we are.
And you said, and you said you'd give it a 4 out of 10, the rating?
Yes, because we are playing with the fact that there might come a point in the season in which we will still have to play Leao as a striker. And that's exactly what we are trying to avoid here.
Okay. All right. Okay, fair take. Awesome take. Skiller, you finish it off.
I'm going to go a lot more negative than Red John. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. This is not only not the management not learning. And I think Oli Oxenfree mentioned this in the comments. This is a Mandzukic style deal. A guy who hasn't been playing for a while, then we decide, oh, it's a good opportunity. I don't know if someone keeps showing the management the highlights. It's a waste of money, even though it doesn't cost as much. And what I think is even worse, it's a waste of time. Because guys, if we want a decent third option striker, let's look at it in terms of the sequence here. Yeah, Romagnoli has not signed his renewal. Kessie has not signed his renewal. If you and I don't want to act like I'm the sporting director or anything, but the way that I had hoped to see it is that let's get these renewals out of the way. If Romagnoli doesn't want to sign it or he's playing games, he gets sold. Then let's relook again the budget. The same thing with others. Focus on the sales and let's relook at the budget for how much we can really afford for a cam or right winger or even a third striker, rather than going for all these cheap deals for guys who are essentially going straight into a medical room and we don't know when they're going to leave. This, I'm not saying Maldini out or anything, but let's be clear. But
Oh, all right. So what do you give it? What rating do you give it?
I'll give it like a 3 even.
Oh wow, guys! Remind me, what did you give it, Rohit?
I said 6.5.
6.5. All right, guys. For me, honestly, I feel I'm not gonna take too much time, but guys, this is more you guys. I want to hear you guys. I'm just gonna give a really short take. The fact that maybe I'm more hoping that his injury days are over. He's 20, so I'm okay with it. With the fact, I'll give this a 7. But chat, let me know, what do you think about Pellegrini? What is your rating? Okay, guys, do you guys want to challenge each other?
I don't want to do this as a challenge per se, but I actually wanted to bring out the reason as to why I don't kind of agree with Skillerd and Red John. So
Okay.
we spoke about the Mandzukic transfer. I can't remember actually even one transfer crossing 20 million in the winter market last season. I think even the English Premier League teams were really quiet in terms of transfers because there was this huge pandemic affected economy happening, and nobody actually wanted to sell players without having a kind of proper replacement. So that's why we had to kind of dip into the free market and pick out Mandzukic, which was a total bust. In terms of technicality, Mandzukic is one of the best players, one of the best strikers that has played in the last few years. But physically, he was a real bust. It's the same kind of thing we have, same issue we have. We actually have a lot of positions to fill. We have to buy a attacking midfielder. We may even have to buy a right winger. We I think we still are looking for a midfielder as well, two midfielders. So I think the third striker does not take much importance for us right now, and that's why I think without having too much of the budget to spend, where we are not allowed to spend because of FFP, and we
But
don't want to get into trouble with UEFA again and again. We have very little money to spend. So I think since Monaco is actually open to a loan with option, that's why we're going for Pellegrini. It's not that we were linked to a player called Kolo Muani from Nantes or another team. I cannot remember, a French player, and I saw him play. He's actually a great player, but Nantes actually won 15 to 20 million. So the question is, can we spend 20 million on a third choice striker in our team?
But
Uh,
no one,
I,
I don't think anyone is saying for us to spend 20 million. We are just saying loan someone else if you want to loan him, but loan someone who's not mega injury prone. Like I
the,
think
the,
the point that me and Eastbourne as well are trying to make is the fact that with Ibra,
Skiller.
do I'm sorry, Skiller, uh, uh, with Ibra being also injury prone because of its age, the third striker is going to have a much higher importance because he is actually going to play a lot more games than we think right now. We are thinking this as if Ibra is going to play a lot of games, not get injured. Last season, I think the maximum of injury-free games in a row Ibra did was like 5. 5, and then
Yeah,
injury for 1 month, 2 months.
so that's where my point kicks in. Actually, there is a whole market where that actually all the teams want to negate their losses by selling their players. So actually, the other club actually has to agree for the transfer. They want good money for their players. They're not going to allow for a loan. Let's take our own example of Castillejo. So Getafe wanted Castillejo on a loan, but we wanted 8 million. Since the transfer did not happen, did not go through, even Getafe even asked us to pay Castillejo's wages.
But
So what was the advantage we had in just giving Castillejo to Getafe?
I understand you. The thing is here. First of all, if you're gonna say the Castillo example, in my opinion, we should have loaned him because the team does not operate like that. The team sees the right wing and says, "Okay, this right wing needs an upgrade. If I have to send Castillo on loan in order to bring someone else who's better and who's a starter, then I think our team should have done it." Apparently, Milan thinks that our right wing is good as it is, and we're not going to bring anyone. Therefore, Castillo is going to be the sub of Salemagers, and that's it.
So what I
The,
mean if you actually want to sell Castillejo and reinvest that money, you actually need a proper cash transfer to happen. What is the advantage for Milan if Getafe is only offering a loan where
but
Milan will have to pay
but
his
how,
wages?
how can you do that as a Milan fan? How can you make this argument? This is exactly our way of doing business, loan with option. How can you say that? What's the profit? What's the profit of Chelsea loaning us Tomori? What's the profit of Monaco loaning us someone? We are saying this is not the way to do business while exclusively doing this way of business. This is how we do things. You send Castillo away on loan in order to upgrade your
Yeah.
position.
Because uh,
Because right now
What?
the right wing is weak because we cannot offload the bad
because
players.
Chelsea can actually afford to send Tomori on loan because they are
One
financially
more minute on
much
this subject.
much.
One more minute.
Yeah, Tomori is actually much more. I mean, sorry, Chelsea is much more financially secure than us. They have been in the Champions League for 3 to 4 years. They
But
make way more money than us. We actually
what
do not have that kind of money.
Rohit,
what
sorry,
Mhm.
Raja, let me throw in a bit of spin here. Yeah,
Yeah.
Castillejo being in the team, he's not getting any offers because he has no value. The way that I see
Okay.
it, even if we had to loan him out, let's say one simple dry loan, in the off chance that he does a decent job, then he gets some value there because him being in the team, he needs to get played, which is definitely costing, which is not helping the team, and he's got no value. So at least some solution is better than no solution. The way that I see it.
No, the thing is, we actually, I mean, the FFP rule states that you can only invest what you earn. So if you are actually sending a player on loan and you're not earning anything from that transfer, then actually for us, since we
This
make very less money from other revenues, that is in terms of TV and
yeah,
other revenues, we actually do not have enough money to invest.
but there is
Guys,
no
last takes on
yes,
this subject.
there is no FFP ruling right now. It's not in action right now. So this cannot
No,
be the reason. This
actually,
again, this cannot be the reason, and we see that by facts because we see Roma spending more than 100 million while finishing seventh. So either there is an FFP rule which forbids you from doing these things, or there isn't. If there isn't, then okay, we should actually put the money where our mouth is and upgrade the team. Or if there is, then how is Roma doing that? Roma
that
has less
that's
less
because
revenue
that's
than us.
because yeah, actually they do make more money than us.
They
Roma
no
has been
no
has been participating in Europe for the last 10 years consistently, and they have been
no.
making way more money than us as well.
They,
So they actually
they
have
are not. They are not. They are not.
they actually do make more money than us. They make 236 million like 2 seasons back, and we only made 200 million. They
No, yeah,
Yeah,
actually do
even
make more.
Alisson and Mohamed Salah, they make quite a bit of money.
They actually
no,
made a
but
lot of
okay.
they've been in the Champions League. Even though they've been flopping in the Champions League, they actually participated and one participation in the Champions League gets you 50 million. So they actually have a lot more money than us. So they are able to actually show it and they can invest it. And
Listen, I have it
in terms
here
of
right
the
now.
FF
Okay.
and in terms of, yeah, 1 minute, right, John? One in terms of FFP, it's not been cancelled. They've actually changed the calculation of the FFP, and since I'm not sure of how the calculation has been reset, and I don't know how that works. It's all ambiguous in a way to kind of help UEFA reset the rules for only for teams which they want, and that is PSG and Manchester City. So in terms of that, they have reset the rules, but your FFP has not been cancelled.
All right, Red John, finish it off. Last take.
No, I just wanted to say that even in 2017, when Roma was in the Champions League, they made in revenue 20 more million than us. Right now, Roma finished seventh. We finished second. So a simple guess is that we actually make more revenue this year than Roma, even though Roma is able to spend almost twice as much as us.
I just wanted to say that FFP is actually calculated for 3 years, not just one
Yes,
year.
yes. But last year Roma was not in the Champions League, and the year before that, neither either.
They were in the Premier League. I'm sorry, they were in the Europa League, same as us.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, listen. We obviously are in a stalemate, an agree to disagree kind of situation here. But both of you guys have valid takes, and we are talking about essentially Pellegrini. And I think that most of the people here, according to the poll that I put up here in the chat, so I'm going to end the poll right here. And I'm going to tell you exactly what our viewers are saying. And according to the chat, Pellegrini is not that popular, I gotta say. So the poll says, is Pellegrini the third striker we want? 60% said no, 40% said yes. So the majority of the viewers today are more against this idea of Pellegrini. Anyway, guys, that was a great conversation, great back and forth. We can probably continue that conversation on another stream where you guys can go head to head and lock horns. That was really good. But as I said, we got to move on to the next conversation. And we're going to go on to the Bakayoko situation. And I want to know what you guys and what the chat thinks of Bakayoko. So I take that Pellegrini, and nobody's that happy about Pellegrini. I'm actually very happy about Pellegrini. I think it's going to be a very positive thing in the end. Let's go to Bakayoko next. So guys, let's start with Skillet this time. Bakayoko seems to be a player that might be coming to Milan. Eastbourne actually earlier put a message out. I think he got it from I don't know. I'm not sure who, but it seems that Bakayoko has decided to cut his wages a little bit for AC Milan. Milan seems to be going on to this player. I remember Carlo Moretti saying minestra riscaldata, which is an Italian saying for saying this is a recycled soup, you know, so it's not too positive. I already know some people are not so positive about it. What is your opinion on Bakayoko, Skiller? Let's start with you.
Yeah, it's just a story that doesn't seem to die off. I mean, it's been so many seasons that we had him, he went back, wanted to get him back, went somewhere else. Now the same story. It needs to be an annual story for AC Milan and Bakayoko. So the way that I see it is that no doubt Bakayoko does have his uses, but whether at his stage of his career he's willing to be maybe the backup to Kessie, that's something that I don't know whether it's going to work well with him. The reason being is that whoever comes, Benacer and Kessie are going to be our default two midfielders in the 4-2-3-1, unless it's the AFCON season. So if it's on a regular game time, be it Champions League or Serie A, and it's not AFCON, where are we going to find minutes for these players? And is that going to sit well with them? That's why I do see as having a younger player, maybe it'd be a bit more reasonable to tell them, okay, we need you to grow. There's still other players in front of you. We hope you can improve. But in the case of Bakayoko, I don't want it to be a problem in the case that after a while there's some changing room drama because he's just not playing. And Bakayoko, if I'm not mistaken, was he the one that had a bit of a tiff with Gattuso?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that there's a bit of attitude there. So I'm just not looking forward to it. If you're up to me between him and Yassin Adli, I'll go with Yassin Adli.
All right. And what's your rating? It's most likely a low one. What is your rating? 1 out of 10.
If he does join, I'm okay with it, to be honest. I'll give it a 5.
A 5. Okay. So barely. Actually, a 5 is a failing. It's fail. Right. 6 is sufficient. Okay. Okay. So 5. All right. Okay. There you go. That's Skillert. Let's go to Rohit.
Yeah, for me, I think Bakayoko, if this happens, is a no-brainer. I mean, he's actually acclimatized to Serie A. He knows the league. Very few people know him from his previous stint, and he is actually willing to come to AC Milan and play. So I think if it happens, if the conditions are right, I think it would be a no-brainer for us, and I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Wow. Okay, you give it a pretty good rating, eh? I gotta be on Rohit's page on this one. I'm pretty happy with the Bakayoko coming. Guys, we need quality. We need players. I think he's quality, but if you don't think he's
Roy,
quality, guys, I respect that.
He's
Roy,
everything. but
sorry to interrupt. There's just a news.
Okay,
Milan
breaking
have
news,
raised
guys.
Milan have raised their first offer for Yassin Atli, 12 million plus 10 percentage resale, 10 percentage of resale, but Bordeaux have not yet accepted it and are still discussing it. No agreement yet.
Wow. Okay, there you go. Milan starting to be more aggressive. Okay, so we'll probably go into that next. Let's. So you finished with a 7 out of 10. Red John, your turn.
So I don't know, man. I think our fans have a little bit of recency bias syndrome. Get it? Like the way I remember Bakayoko playing for us was the first half of the season was me ready to pay his plane ticket to send him back to Chelsea. He was awful, like awful. Like if you watch him play, you couldn't actually believe he is a professional football player. He had then a really good stretch. I think from March till May, like where he was probably our best player, and therefore everyone is super happy about it. The way I see it is like this: we're getting the worst player at Napoli last season, by far the worst player at Napoli. We are getting a player that failed at Monaco again when Chelsea sent him back to Monaco, but I think he's a really good bench player. Therefore, my grade for him is 6.5, but nothing amazing. Like he is someone who's gonna be playing when Benacer and Kessie are in Africon, and we are for sure gonna notice a difference.
Okay, I do have one thing to ask the panel here. So obviously we know, and now we're going to go to the Kessie conversation in a bit, but we do know that Kessie and Benacer are for sure the starters, right? Yes. We all agree on that. But having Tonali and Bakayoko, don't you think that's an upgrade from having Tonali and Meite? You guys think that's an upgrade?
I'm not convinced that Bakayoko is better than Meite per se. I think Meite is a better quality player. Bakayoko is a little bit gamba di legno, like that kind of a footballer that can pass the ball, and that's about it. And he's strong. That's it. Also, another concern that I have is with Pioli. I think Pioli is gonna, like, having Bakayoko is gonna take time from Tonali. I think Pioli is gonna use Bakayoko as a third option, and Tonali is gonna get less playing time while Kessie and Benacer are available.
Yeah, okay, and sorry, Skillet, what is your rating, Red John?
For Bakayoko?
Yeah.
6.5.
6.5. All right, Skillet, go ahead.
I will give this a 10 for only one reason. If Bakayoko is in the team so that we can get rid of Krunic, I'm all for it. because that will then give maybe purely the reason say that okay, we have too many midfielders. You got to get rid of this guy finally. You got to stop playing him. That will
If
be a 10.
if we get rid of Krunic, Pioli resigns the next day.
I'm sure that's the deal.
I don't understand why you guys hate the world's best player so much, yeah. Seriously.
True, true.
What?
Not just the world's Bosnian best player of the year, by the way.
Yeah,
I do-
Bosnian best
It's a
player.
joke. It's a joke. The award is a joke. Everyone knows it's a joke.
Guys, I do want to say something. Last night we had a Milan news with Antonio, and we did a poll who is going to win the Ballon d'Or. And the players we put in the poll were Messi, Kante, Jorginho, and Krunic. Krunic won that poll, guys.
It's
So
a
that's a lot.
no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
It's a lot. There's much to be said. All right. Well, okay. But overall, even though there were some, let's say, more like concerned takes, we can say that it is. This one was more positive than Pellegrini. Personally, I'm happy with Bakayoko. I like
I
the
just
sign.
wanted to say something to
Yeah, go ahead.
Skillard and Red John.
Yeah.
Adli and Bakayoko are two different players, and
Yes.
Tonali and Bakayoko are again two different players. So I think we actually need all those three players in our system very soon. And
All
as
right.
to why Bakayoko was awful in the first half of the season, I think that's mainly due to him being played out of a role that he's not familiar with, and also to the fact that he actually took. I mean, all players take a little bit of time to actually get adjusted to the Serie A, and even any player can take time to get used to a new league and new culture and new language and stuff like that.
But
So I think Bakayoko there was actually a bit out of position. But once Gattuso reverted back to a 4-4-2 with Kessie and Bakayoko in a double pivot, he was actually a bit more suited to his style of play.
my problem
Hey,
is
sorry, Red John. Sorry, Red John. Before you go, guys, we do have what could be some breaking news. If this is true, if Ollie is not messing about, Romano just tweeted Bakayoko on his way. So this is pretty much
a done deal.
a done deal. Yeah.
I don't
okay.
see anything on for Romano's page. I'm just going through his page. I don't see anything.
Ollie. Bad Ollie. Okay, guys. So overall, I would say more positive than negative. We can move on to the next subject, and we have a new guest backstage, which will be joining us for the next subject. But before finishing with Bakayoko, I want to go to the poll and what our viewers are saying and what they think about Bakayoko. First of all, big shout out to Saif. Saif is here. I reposted from Milan Post, my bad, Ollie says. So the viewers, 88% of the viewers say they are happy with Bakayoko. 11% said they're not. So the vast majority are happy of the viewers that voted. So excellent. Guys, let's give a big warm welcome to Antonio. What's up, Antonio?
Hello, guys. Couple pieces of news, actually. Number one, yeah, I agree with Rohit. There's been no confirmation of Bakayoko. I'll let you know if I see it. And the other thing is, there is confirmation that Florenzi has actually signed his contract officially. Like, it's been like a little less than an hour. So he did actually like sign, and he's a Milan player now officially.
Excellent.
So, yep.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that.
A little bit out of topic. Arsenal just signed a second choice goalkeeper from a relegated club for 36 million. My God. What kind of league is this, man?
I know, and they signed their like starting center back for 50 million from Brighton, and he was honestly like horrible. He's just not worth 50 million.
Arsenal have spent the most amount of. Arsenal are the highest spenders in the transfer window this year, so far.
That's insane. All right, guys. Let's get to the next subject. The next subject can be a little bit of a touchy one. because it's a player that I think is very dear to us, and I want to know what your guys' take is. So far, let's just go right away. Let me tell you what his name is. Il Presidente Kessi. So today, some new news came out regarding Kessi, saying that because some offers have been coming in, he's actually went back to the club and he's asking for more. So this renewal is getting more difficult. It's getting more difficult. So these were the words that I heard today, specifically from Andrea Longoni. It seems like the contractual negotiations for Kessi are getting difficult, despite the fact 3 weeks ago, or I'm not sure how many weeks ago, he said that he wants to become the president forever. Is he really? Is he just saying the words because we want to hear them? Does he really mean it? So let's talk about this next. Let's start with Skillard. Skillard, what do you think about Kessi? What's going on with Kessi? What do you think will happen with Kessi?
Somehow I didn't see this coming. It was within the realm of possibility. And this is where I'm really looking to management to get this done. Guys, don't get me wrong. I really want Kessi to stay. I really, really, really want him to stay. But there needs to be a deadline for all these things. We cannot accept players and their agents playing games to take this to January or even until towards almost at the last day of their contract. The deadline needs to be made from this point onwards. Kessi, we want you to stay. This is our best offer. Are you going to sign it? It's either going to be yes or no. If no, get sold. Same thing with Romagnoli. Same thing with anyone else who wants to play these sort of games. Here's our best offer. You either want to sign it or you're going to get sold. There's not going to be, I'm thinking about it, wait till January. That's all bullshit, okay? Sign it or go.
Wow. So you're giving you're going with the hard like, hey, like either you're going to be with us or get the hell out. Pretty much, it's one extreme or the other.
So recently, so why do we want to play the same games?
Yeah, I mean, I to be honest with you, we can't be held hostage by these players. So I think that's a fair take. All right, Red John, you're up next.
Yeah, sure. So the way I think it is like this: there is no more affection and connection in football. The way it works is just like a normal worker. You are at your job. Someone else is offering you twice the pay. The least you should do is ask your current employer for a raise. And right now, Kessi is doing exactly that. We cannot pretend. We cannot always go to the player and be like, why are you asking for more? He's asking for more because he has actually gotten an offer from somewhere else, giving him more. Now the management has to take a decision. Because I don't want to see no more Donnarummas again or no more Çalhanoğlu's again. The management has to make a decision. First of all, he is a key player, best player in the last 18 months for Milan, by far. So they have to make their maximum bid. If Kessi says no, they should sell him now. Together with, like, I agree 100% with what Skillard said. 100%. If we push this after the Mercato is done, for me, it's a failure.
Okay, and okay, so after you guys finish your takes, I do have a question for you guys, but I'll wonder what you think. Okay, so very similar to Skillard's take. Very good. Antonio.
So Kessi, like I'm starting to agree with what Red John kind of said, like a bit more. At first, I was like, just pay him whatever he wants, but at this point, first of all, I just want to say keeping Kessi is important above everything else, but I'd rather sell him this summer than give him away for free next year. So I would have to agree with that. Like, I want this to be sorted out like this week. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we can't lose him for free. He's valued at least 50 million, so we need to cash in on him if we were to get rid of him. But yeah, of course, I would say pay. I think 6 million, no more, is fair. But I like 5.5, 6 million definitely is fair for me. But if the management don't want to pay that much, then sell him. Like, those are the only options. I don't want to keep him for a year.
And
Okay.
if I can also add something, like the way I
Yes.
concept Milan, or the way I was used to Milan, was the good players, you pay them what they deserve to get, and you don't sell them. But the way we are doing things right now, it looks like this management is not capable of renewing contracts. They are just not capable of doing it. It's either Maldini's fault or Elliot not giving enough money. I don't know, but if you are not able to renew him, as you have already shown in the past that you are not capable of doing the job, then at least the least you can do is sell him. And what about Romagnoli? How come we are not hearing anything about Romagnoli? Is he going to be another player that goes on free next year? Like, I don't get this management.
Yeah, that seems to be becoming a trend, right? All these players waiting for the end of their contract. And
Exactly.
Rohit, what's your take?
Yeah, so I mean, having for closely followed the market for the last 4 years, I think there's a lot of anxiety in the Milan fan base after what Donnarumma and Hakan did. So I think this is just the media trying to. I mean, in the last 1 month, I mean, Kessie himself came out and said that he would sign the contract, and his agent is not Mino Raiola. So I think in the end it would happen, but right now the management is more concerned about signing. I mean, finishing our transfer market and in a go on a good note. So I'm not much worried about this kind of news. I think Cassie would actually sign for us. Uh, but I think Skiller has a point. We should maybe, if that is the case, we should have had a deadline, and we should maybe try and offer what the player is asking. We should come to a kind of come. Both parties should come to an agreement soon, but I am not so worried about it as it is much. But again, in terms of what Red John was saying, is it about Elliot not giving much money? Again, this comes down to FFP. We are not allowed to spend too much of money, and
I,
Maldini is actually working within a budget as to what he is given. So his job is to manage the sporting side of the things. His job is not to manage the budget.
I just don't agree with that because we already had Donnarumma earning 6 million net, and we offered him 8. So apparently the money is there.
Yeah, so
He,
I did the math on that. Okay, so 8 million is the net. So the net tax
yes,
is what the player gets in his hand. The
yes.
tax, the like okay, so since you know that, Donnarumma was asking for 10 million. 10 million net would actually mean 20 million gross. So
Yes.
in 1 year, with the kind of commission that is 20 million asked by Mino Raiola,
No,
we
no, but
would have spent.
I'm not making the argument for Donnarumma. I'm just saying that we already offered Donnarumma 8 million net, which is
Yeah,
16
we
million gross, right? So right now
yes,
we spared those 8 million that we apparently had the budget for. So right
yeah,
now we
and
cannot
that
afford
16
to give.
and that 16 million was spent on Mick Mignon. So we actually in terms of financial entry, we actually did not lose a single penny. We are in
But
letting
again, I am a fan. I don't care if Elliot gained or lost or whatever. What I need is the team to be competitive.
for the team to be competitive. There
That's
is
it.
when Berlusconi was owning Milan,
Mhm.
we broke the transfer record 2 times. But
Uh,
there was no FFP those days. Anybody could spend 100 million and get a players. But right now, no. I mean, right now there are rules for
no,
spending and yeah.
uh,
Go on, go on.
everyone is spending as much as they want right now. It's just
No,
that
but
yes,
Real
yes,
Madrid
yes, yes.
haven't spent a single penny since 2019.
True,
Barcelona
true,
have spent
true.
only 9 million this season.
True. The thing is here that everyone is spending as much as they want to because they increase their revenue by adding fictional sponsors. Why isn't Elliot doing that? This is like I
Elliot,
I don't think this is a matter of FFP. I think if there's will, you just do it same as Paris Saint Germain did it. Paris Saint Germain got our
I do you
got got
do
our
you
two best
actually
players. Mhm.
Yeah, do you actually think that we are not adding fictional sponsors?
Yes.
Elliot is actually giving us loans at 0% market rate, and That's how we are making. That's how we are paying our players.
How? How
Elliot,
we,
this
we, we,
company.
we make 50% of the revenue that Inter is making. How is that possible? We have three
Inter in,
times.
in
We have three times the fan
Two more
base
minutes
of
on the 2 more minutes on the subject, guys. Keep on
we have
going at it.
Yeah,
we have three
Inter
times the fan. Okay, go.
Inter Milan has been making like something like 315 million. Our
Yes,
revenue is 100 million, 200 million. For
yes.
one, Inter Milan has been in the Champions League for like 2 3 years continuously now. So that
Mm.
obviously gives you more money in terms of commercial revenue. And one thing you should understand is that there's a difference between an owner in
I
terms of there's a rule called separate legal entity. So the owner's accounts and the club's accounts are different, are treated as two different things.
Lohit, I
So
understand it. I understand it. The thing is here, Inter was able to spend 200, almost 300 million 2 years ago, not now. After three years in Champions League, 3 years
okay,
ago. Okay, so
okay,
the revenue even 3 years ago of Inter was
okay,
almost twice as much as ours. How is that
okay,
possible when Inter has three times less than us fans around the world and the same amount of fans in Italy? It's just not
Rohit,
so
possible.
Rohit,
so so
Rohit.
Sony,
Sorry, guys. Before you keep on going, I want you guys to keep on with our conversation. First of all, I want to say hi to Laird. What's up, Laird? How you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. How's it
Ex-
going?
Excellent,
How's
Hey,
Laird.
everyone.
We're
so
talking, yeah. But one
Well,
second, Rohit, and I want you to answer, Red John. But before you answer, I just want to get Laird in the conversation, know what we're talking about, because I want to know what Laird's take is on this subject too. Right now, Laird, I don't know if you've been following, we're talking about Kessi's contractual situation. That basically, right now, the voices that came out today is that because he's been getting other offers, his agent Tangana is asking more money. So now Red John and the Rohits are going at each other. And then after that, I want to hear what your take is, Laird. Rohit, you can answer Red John. Go ahead.
yeah, so that I mean basically to answer Red John's question, why did Inter Milan sell their two best players for 200 million just now?
because Suning, not Inter, but Suning had financial problems in China. If Suning wouldn't have had any financial problems in China, in their homeland, Inter would have bought more players right now. They wouldn't have sold anyone. Like
That's I mean that
Inter's financial problems have zero to do with the fact that Inter spends money. It has to do
so
with the fact
so
that
you
they got
actually
unlucky to be owned by an owner who sold almost 80%
so
of his
you
company
so
in
so
China.
you so you're completely unaware of the fact that Inter have 757 million in debt.
Yes, but yes, Inter is part of Suning. It's not Inter who has borrowed 700 million. It's Suning who has invested this money. 40
No, Inter 700 the 757 million I'm talking about is the debt availed by Inter Milan as a football club, not
it's
by Suning.
it's impossible. How
I
how
am
did
talking
how,
about I
how
am talking about audited accounts, not any article. This is the information I am giving is from an audited account. This is the
Mhm.
public information released by the club. They have
Yes,
200 million as of 2020 to give to other clubs for transfers, and that includes the 50 million for Lukaku and the 40 million for Hakimi. This is
yes.
the money. So
But
what Inter Milan did
but this is how every club operates. No one gives another club 80 million at one go.
ex- I
One more minute,
agree,
guys.
but
One more minute.
the point is they actually borrowed. They actually took too much money than what they could repay, and that is why right now they have sold their two best players so that they can actually repay the money they are not able to repay because they are not earning enough money as a club,
Yes,
and
but
in and
the
Suning, as you said, went broke. So
yes,
when
but
you're having
that is the main problem. The main problem is not Inter having money borrowed or Inter having to pay money. The problem is that Inter's owner, the guy who puts the money on the table, was not able to put money on the table anymore. That's the
so
problem.
So why can't Inter earn more money more money and pay off the debt?
Because this is not how clubs operate when they are trying to win stuff. When you try to win stuff, you don't just buy as much as your revenue is. You try to increase your revenue, just like Inter did by doing it twice as much as ours, and then they try to spend accordingly.
It is not twice as much as much as ours. It's
Okay,
barely
guys.
100 million. It's
All
barely
right,
100
guys.
million more than what we have.
It's 150 million more than us, and we make
All right,
200
guys.
in
That-
total.
Okay, guys. We
The debate
you
always
guys
goes back to Inter, isn't that
I
funny?
just
let Larry to get into it also.
I just want to simplify a bit to explain what it is trying to explain to Red John. It's basically what Inter did before the COVID happened, because the COVID is something no one could have predict. It's something really big, something impossible to predict. So what Inter was doing was investing more than actually they were making, with the idea to grow their revenue and become a bigger club like Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain, all these big clubs they were doing. Even Barcelona was doing the same. Real Madrid was doing the same. They were buying
Exactly.
Hazard for 100 and something million and other players. So when you go with that growth, if something like COVID happened, you are completely screwed, because you're growing so much that you are not even thinking of a plan B if something like this happen. So what happened to Inter? They find themselves in an awful financial situation. But the problem is that Manchester City and PSG, their owner, were completely fine. The Inter owner was in a complete mess, so it cannot cover that mess he made. On the other side, Juventus, for example, they have a rich owner that put 400 million and called the problem. You say, okay, you're not going to buy a lot. We need to calm down a bit for the next 2 years, because I'm putting this 400 million, but I want you guys to go back on track. What the owner of Inter cannot do that. He cannot put 400 million because he is in a trouble himself, and Inter is in trouble. So that is the only situation. Real Madrid is not owned by anyone, so they need to redimension everything. Barcelona is the same situation. Manchester City, Manchester United, whatever other big team, they are owned by private entity or whatever, rich people.
And they are covered by their owners.
They are
Exactly.
quick.
This
We
is
were
my point.
lucky because we were kind of we were doing this how you can call it, redimension, I would say, rebuilt in the period I think a year before the COVID came. So we were cutting our costs anyway. So when the COVID came, we were operating in a way COVID friendly, I would say, in an economy that actually is handleable. So that's why now we are in a situation we can grow after a year. I think in 12 months, we can start to grow again. We can start to sign big player, give big contract again, because we're going to make 200 million a year and we are spending 180 million. So we are in that good place again.
I disagree with the last part, but I agree with everything else you said.
Well, technically, if there is no COVID anymore and stadiums are full, people are coming back to a normal life, the economy is going up. If you're making 200 and you're spending 180, you can start to grow and invest and try to be big like Manchester City and all these big clubs. But you have to do it slowly, not in one year like Inter did, because COVID happened once, but something else can happen where we don't think, and we are again. So you have to think like growing. A plan to grow is 10 years, not 1 year like Inter did.
But Elliot is not going to be here for 10 years. This is my point.
Who?
Elliot.
Who is not going to be?
Elliot.
Hey guys, someone has an echo. Sorry, Larry. 1 second. Someone has an echo. Can you please take care of it?
Maybe it's me.
Yep.
Hello. All right, it's gone now. Okay, keep on going.
So the idea. So basically, I know Elliot is not going to be here, but he needs to build a machine that who is going to buy it has already a project how this machine is going and what direction it's going. So let's say a millionaire in 2 years is going to buy AC Milan. That millionaire is going to see that the club is making 250 and is spending 180. He has stadium, he has a total amount of merch, sales, and everything like this, brand awareness, and all this stuff. He's playing Champions League for 5 years in a row. Is being top 4 or winning leagues or challenging to win the league for 3 years in a row. So he's buying something that is healthy and is growing,
Yes,
even if it's not going to be Elliot. So that is the whole plan of Elliot.
But how is that something that we as fans can be happy with?
Well, technically,
I am not happy with us being Dortmund. I'm not happy with that.
unfortunately, that's the problem of us. We are not even Dortmund. That is our problem. Not even young prospect wants to come and play.
I wish we were Dortmund. I wish we were Dortmund.
I wish we were Dortmund. Dortmund has been in Champions League for so long, and he's playing in a league that actually is way more simple than the Serie A. So you can go top 4 because the other competitors are not even close to you. We are in Serie A. We're competing with 7 clubs. They're investing more than us or like us. They have a big fan base, and they are tough to beat in the pitch. So I wish we were Dortmund. And if it's a young prospect who doesn't even choose to come to AC Milan, but goes to Dortmund, goes to Ajax, goes to Atletico Madrid, goes to, Tottenham, that is the problem. We are not even Dortmund at the moment. Now, going back to KC problem, because I want to answer to the KC problem. I think
and then let's close it here. Let's close it here. After you say the KC thing, we'll move on.
Yeah. I want to say that KC problem does nothing to do with our financial situation. I always say they need to give the money he wants. Now, my question is, does the player wants to really stay at AC Milan? That is my question. Because if he really wants to stay, let's say Manchester United is offering him 7 million because Pogba contract runs out in a year and they need a midfielder. So it's really convenient to sign for free KC and give him 7 million or 8 million, whatever they're offering. The player needs to decide if he wants to stay to AC Milan. He needs to say, okay, I want to stay to AC Milan, and he needs to understand that we're never gonna meet the level of Manchester United. So he needs to get at least 1 million less than what Manchester United or other big clubs are offering him, or at least 20% less if he wants to stay with us and help us to grow and maybe get that 2 or 3 million that is missing now in the future with bonuses or in a different way. So if he really wants to stay to AC Milan, he needs to understand that. Second thing is, I don't think it's a great idea to sell KC this summer. Anyway, even if we decide, listen, I don't wanna renew with you guys, I want to wait until the end of the year, you need a player like KC to go top 4 and get that 50 million with TV rights for Champions League and Serie A. So you get it in a different way, not selling him. Because if you sell him, you get that 50 million, but you lose maybe the top 4 spot. You lose a lot of other benefits that you can have at the end of the season. Second thing, it's not Maldini's fault. I'm sure Maldini knows football, knows the salaries that are around. So if it was in his hands, he will give it to KC 8 million tomorrow. It's not that the problem. So I think it's Elliot that is stopping this, or Gazidis, or who is managing the money. And another thing is that if you consider, let's say KC is happy with 8 million, let's say that. So it's almost 15 million gross. For 4 years, we are talking about 60 million. You cannot replace KC with 60 million. And that is a cost you pay in 4 years. If you want to replace KC straight away, you need to pay 40 million straight away and maybe 20 million with the salary. So it's still better to give an 8 million salary to KC than actually try to replace him with a 40 million player or 30 million player.
On that point, just want to add.
Last point.
Some people that I've actually talked to think that KC is replaceable. I'm not saying I agree with that, but what are your thoughts on his physical abilities being replaceable?
I think he is replaceable. There is a lot of good midfielders around, but you need at least 50 million. For example, Renato Sancho, you need 35, 40, I don't know, something like that, 40 million, 45 million. First of all, you need to convince the player to come and play for you, and you need to give him a raise as a salary. So it's going to cost you the same amount of renewing to KC. I was talking with my dad about this, and he thinks that KC is not renewing now because if he renews now before the transfer market finished, every player that comes in AC Milan, every new player that comes in, they want a higher salary because the highest salary is 7 million KC, for example.
That is actually hilarious because my dad says the exact same thing.
So what
That's a good take. That's a good point.
So they're waiting the transfer market to finish to close all the deals. So KC in the book stays at 3 million, whatever is his salary at the moment. So if James Rodriguez or Ziyech or whatever comes that is a big name is coming, he sees that AC Milan is paying Zlatan Ibrahimovic 7, so you're gonna get 6 or 5.5 or something like that. And as soon as the transfer market's finished, KC in September, October renews his contract the amount he wants, which is 7 million. If that it doesn't happen in September, October, I think it's gonna go for free, and we need to get used to this idea and give up. And don't blame Maldini, don't blame the people that are running the club. Just blame Elliott and Gazidis that is managing.
How can you not blame Maldini for not
sorry, Red John, sorry, 1 second before you keep on going, guys. Again, you know, I don't want some conversations to go too long because there are many things to talk about. I do appreciate the difference in opinions, and I love the conversation. So that's excellent. So I want to finish on this point, and then maybe Red John, you can add on to it. So I put up a poll. It says, what should we do with KC's contract situation? Guys, please vote. And the three answers or the three options were: give him what he wants, play hardball, let him run his contract. So before I end the poll, Laert, out of these three, which one would you choose? Give him what he wants, play hardball, let him run his contract.
It's really hard. Depends what he wants. If he wants 10, don't give him what he wants. As simple as that. It's because he's gonna ask 10, and the next renewal is gonna ask for 8. So we are in a place that we cannot handle that. So that's the thing. So if I want to be honest, I'll give him what he wants if it's 7, or if he wants more, I'll just run his contract out and I'll look for a replacement at the end of the year, and that's it. That is my opinion.
All right, Skiller.
I selected a hardball. We need to be firm with these players. Every player needs to be an example in their own right.
Whoa. Okay, nice. Oh yeah, that's true. You did say that. Actually, that's why I put that there. Antonio?
Well, if reports are correct, he wants 6 million. So I chose give him what he wants.
I think he wants more. No, he wants more.
I heard 6.
Yeah, today the word is that he wants more than 6.
Okay, if that's the case, I would have chosen play hardball. But if he wants 6, I say give him 6, no more. That's where I stand.
So your cap is 6.
Yeah, because I think that's reasonable enough. Like the second highest paid player on the team is reasonable enough.
All right, so that might bring some other conversations, but let's get into that later. Rohit?
If his ask is 6 million, then I would say give it to him. If he's asking for more, then I would say play hardball.
Okay, but not both of you would say don't let him run his contract. So both of you guys.
I still stand by what I said. I still think this is just a media created thing. I mean, I really don't believe this. I think that Kessie will extend after the transfer market is closed, just like how Laert and Antonio said. This is just a kind of an exercise that media just want to fill their newspapers.
Okay, fair. Red John, and you can answer and then also add what you wanted to say to Larry.
Yeah, like the way I see it is like this. The management has to set, I already said this before, the management has to set the highest bid they have, offer that bid. If Kessie says no, then they sell him. If you don't sell him, it makes no sense. I rather get the 50 million now and then take my chances if I finish top 4 or not to make another 50 million. Then let the player run out. We are not a rich country, rich team. We are acting as if we are rich. Let's just wait until the contract runs out. Actually, I would take it even a step further. We tell Kessie, either renew or we sell you. If you don't want to get sold, you are staying in the stands and you are not going to play a single match for the entire season. This is the mistake we did with Donnarumma and with Çalhanoğlu. And now Kessie saw their example and he's like, wait a second, they're going to play me anyways. I lose nothing. Actually, by the end of my contract, I get a huge contract with another team. This is the example we have set so far by playing softy and by running it like a business family. We are basically running it like it's a business family and we have to keep everyone happy and everything. No, it's actually just a normal business where you have to make your money's worth.
Okay, all right, fair point. So you're more on the play hardball and get things done right away. Okay, so guys, now this brings me, now since you guys all have this answer here, there's one thing I do want to ask you, and I'm curious about, which is this. Donnarumma asked for 8 million, 8.5 million, and Milan was ready to offer that to Donnarumma. Milan was ready to offer that to Donnarumma. Do you think Kessie is not worth 8.5 million?
My concern is that Kessie is not accepting the money we're giving him. My concern is doesn't want to stay anymore. He wants to go for the same amount of money and play for a millionaire club. You know what I mean? That's my concern. That he's like thinking this is not the right place for me. It's not ambitious enough as a squad. So I'll go to Manchester City. Yeah, I'm gonna earn the same I'm earning to AC Milan, but at least I can win trophies and I can get a renewal in 2 years with double of the money or 30%. If I stay to AC Milan, I'm not getting that 30% extra in 2 years. So I need to get out of here as soon as possible. My agent is telling me to get out of here as soon as possible. That's my concern. Because if the player wants to renew, I'm sure AC Milan is going to get really close to this offer.
Okay.
I want to kind of answer a little bit what Lard said, but also just add on to my opinion for your question. I think I would have to disagree with Lard that I don't think that Kessie wants to leave necessarily, because I would hope that he's an honest person and that in his interviews when he said that he wants to stay at Milan and he's going to try to renew the contract, he wasn't just lying about that, I would hope. But and then to answer your question, I personally wasn't even in favor of giving Donnarumma 8 million. I thought like maybe maximum 8 million, 7, 8 million. But the reason why I stop at 6 million for Kessie, I mean, yes, I think there's playing hardball, maybe raising it to 7 million, 7.5 is reasonable. But I think that the situation with Donnarumma was a lot caused by his agent, and it was too difficult to close for 7 million anyway. So there was no chance whatsoever. But for me, initial reports said that 6 million was what he wanted. So I don't know how much more he wants, but I think if you offer him 6 million, I don't think we've offered 6 million yet. And if we offer 6 million, I think it'll persuade him enough. So I want to see us offer 6 million.
And I actually agree with this. I don't think we are offering 6 million. I think he is playing hardball, so we offer him 6 million. I think we are offering something like 4.5 million. Or something.
But guys, please answer the question. Milan was ready to give Donnarumma 8.5 million. The question is, do you guys think is Kessie worth the same as Donnarumma given his impact on the team?
Oh, but
yes.
I answered that question, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he deserves.
I think I answered it right. Okay, from my perspective.
In my opinion, if we offered Donnarumma 8.5, Kessie deserves 12. It's like this, because Donnarumma is a keeper and he is the least important player in the team, in my opinion. We have won everything with Rossi and with Abbiati, so I don't think the keeper is ever going to be our problem. Okay. I think the reason why we offered Donnarumma 8.5 is not because of this management, but it's because of the Fassone Mirabelli, the geniuses who offered a 17 year-old keeper who was just normal and made 10,000 mistakes, to be honest. A 7 million a year contract, which is crazy. And we were offered to actually give him something more because he did good. So we offered something more than 6. It's 8.5.
I just want to say something about playing hardball. You cannot play hardball with a key player. PSG is not putting in the bench Mbappe. He's not renewing. Dybala is going to play for Juventus. He's not renewing. Pogba is a start. He's a star at Manchester United. He's not renewing his contract. And these are all major clubs. These are rich clubs. They can do whatever they want. They can really put in the bench Pogba and set an example to Raiola, and they're not doing it.
Even
it's
even
really hard
Alaba,
to-
even Alaba for Bayern Munich.
Exactly. He played all season and went to Real Madrid. It's basically
Sergio
impossible to
Ramos
play
for Real
hardball.
Madrid. Sergio Ramos for Real Madrid.
Yeah, Sergio Ramos, every big players, every key players is gonna do whatever they want. We live in this world right now because the clubs they don't work together. They don't do a kind of a gentleman agreement together. They say, listen, we're not gonna get each other players for free. Let's say this. So our agent doesn't owns us. They don't control us. We can actually get a fair fee between our players. But they don't do that because there is always few loose cannons like PSG that sign in for 0, and they don't care anyways. It's business as we say, no? So they do whatever they want. So KC is better to play him, go top 4, get the money, get the prestige. He's gonna go in a big club. Fuck it.
We already
And we get another player. Simple as that.
All right, I wanna
guys, I
wanna
did that last year.
Guys, I want to hear Skillert and Rohit. The question is, if Milan was ready to offer Donnarumma 8.5, do you think it's fair to offer the same to Kessie based on his impact and what he has done for the club? Skillert.
Yes, but I would structure the deal differently. I think we need to go more towards bonuses and things like Champions League qualification rather than just give them whatever the money regardless of performance. Because we can't accept that if players sign and then they start to taper off in terms of how they perform for the club. That's equally unacceptable, I think.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Rohit.
Yeah. So I think what Red John said is a point. Like Donnarumma's 8.5 came from his previous agreement where Raiola bullied Fasobelli into giving Donnarumma 6 million. So I think in that way, when you're seeing Kessie, he's earning only 2.5 million right now. So from 2.5 to 6 million is going to be a huge jump. And if Kessie is going to get that huge jump, then I'm sure that Theo Hernandez's agent and all of the other players' agent are going to make a big fuss about their age. Theo Hernandez is earning only 1.5 million. So if Kessie is going to earn 6 million, then obviously Theo Hernandez's agent is going to ask for 4 million. And if he won't get his way, then PSG are ready with a 70 million bid and a 10 million contract for Theo Hernandez. So when you're actually dealing with Kessie, you also have to think about other players as well. Even Benacer is also there on 1.5 million, and if and then he may also ask for a raise. So that I think that point is there on the minds of our management when we are dealing with this player.
But based on the numbers and also based on the fact that it's inevitable, guys, we can't think of keep on going on with the rest of Milan being in the Champions League. If we want to win trophies, we can't think that we can pay our key players 2 million, 3 million when other teams are paying their key players the money they're paying. So, Rohit, yes or no? Do you think, since Milan offered Donnarumma 8.5 million without all the other things that come behind that or in front of that, do you think Kessie has the right to ask for that kind of money, and should Milan give it to them? Yes or no?
I think Kessie does. I mean, Kessie actually does definitely deserve 6 million if he's asking for 6 million. He's automatically AC Milan's best player right now. So obviously,
what about 8.5 million?
8.5 million? No, I think that would be a bad example set out by us.
So it's a straight no. Okay.
No.
You know what? Just because I will give him 8 millions for sure if we go again top 4. So that means it's not just one season. It means he's that player for season in, season out. He's gonna be always that player. So I'll give him 8 million, 9 million, whatever he wants.
So you give it increments of 1 year. That's what you're saying.
So what I'll do with him, I'll tell him, listen, I'll give you a 6 million contract. If we go top 4 that year, I'll give you an extra 1 million bonus because you are a key player. You're gonna play 90% of the game, and you're bringing me top 4 every season. So I'll give you that 1 million bonus every time, no matter what. Just bring me top 4, which is a simple bonus considering the club is playing and the quality he has and the amount we are investing.
Right, I would take it even further. Give him additional 1 million if he doesn't go for AFCON.
Exactly. That's my
Okay, guys. Okay, guys, we can move on from this conversation. We've spoken enough about it. So excellent. We spend a lot of time on Kessie since Kessie is the most important player of the team, and I think it is right to spend this amount of time on our most important player. But everybody has had their takes. I think everybody has made themselves very clear on what we have to do. Guys, I'll be back on camera in just 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, so let's I'm gonna keep the poll, the Kessie poll on just a little bit more, and then I'm gonna close it. But let's move on to a next topic. And let's actually, before moving on to the next topic, guys, I want to say that I am reading all of what you guys are saying here on the chat, and I do appreciate what you guys are saying. And I'm a lot of great takes on the chat as well. So I really appreciate the chat and everything you guys are saying. I really appreciate the participation and so why don't we do this? Let's go to the chat now, and let's see what the chat has. Maybe some subjects that we can take from the chat. So if there's anything that the chat wants us to maybe talk about, go ahead. In the meantime, it's open floor right now. So any subject is welcome. Anybody can bring up anything they want. This is, we're going on towards the last hour of the stream. So open floor, guys. Whether it's the chat or whether it's any of you guys that wants to bring up a subject, go ahead. I'm here to moderate.
So I have a discussion. I have but let's wait the chat first.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll monitor the chat. Oh, actually, we do have one here. I have a good next topic. Can we analyze our squad depth on the technical analysis screen and decide together what we should do? Okay, we might do that. Let's go first with Larry.
No, my topic is, do you guys think our team is good enough to go for this next season? I think the team is ready. I think we are good enough to go for the next season. I know a lot of people are saying we need the right wing, number 10. But with Bakayoko and Florenzi, I think we are good enough to go for the next 5 months of the season. And in January, maybe to address some stuff and add a few players to make it better. That's my opinion. But I think, what do you guys think? To go top 4, of course, 2nd, 3rd, 4th place.
Anybody, guys, you can jump in, start a conversation. No worries.
Yeah, I agree with Liar. In terms of where we are, we should be very strong in the top 4. But guys, if you're up to me, I want to go for the Scudetto. We were so close last season. I don't know why we can't go for it this season.
Every season is different, It's not like maths.
From the chat, guys, I'm gonna try and involve the chat as well on this on open floor. So Carlos says yes. Carlos says that he believes we can win the Scudetto, while Paul is like, no, unless we see a number 10 or a number 7, no way. So do you guys think that the number 10 and number 7 is going to be instrumental to whether or not we can win the Scudetto? And if you do think that, who do you think that player is going to be based on what your senses are telling you? So 2 questions in one.
Guys, I kind of just to interrupt with some news. It's not like too important, but it's kind of like sad. But the AC Milan women right now are playing in a Champions League game, and they're down 2-0. It's like 50-something minutes in the second half. Just to give you guys an update on that, since it's like an important game.
I have some news too. I don't give a shit.
No,
Well,
that was us.
yeah, it's a bit harsh.
All right, no problem. But I appreciate the update. Okay, guys. So, do you think do we need to get a number 10 or / number 7 to win the Scudetto? Yes or no?
Yes.
I think we need a number 7, but we need like a proper number 7. For example, we need a Ziyech. We need a top quality player. We don't need another player that comes from a small league, another bet, because you never know what's gonna happen. He can end up like Castillo. He can be the next Messi. So it's like flipping a coin. So I don't think we need something like that to win the Scudetto.
All right, I see where we're going.
So Adli is a 10 million from France. He's a good prospect, but do we really need him in a squad? Seriously, is he
Only for
really
depth.
gonna bring us from the second place to win the Scudetto? I don't think so.
Well, I still don't think that we're ready. I'm not saying we have to sign Berardi or like James, but I think that we need to sign a fourth defensive midfielder 100% for depth. And I think we need to sign a third striker because we have 2 old strikers and we don't know what their injuries are going to be like. And I don't want to play Leao and Rebic at number 9 this season. And I think, getting any young player to just be ready when the time comes is a good idea. And then everything else would just be an added bonus. Like if we do get a number 10 or right winger, it would just only improve our chances. So I think we need to definitely get a midfielder and a third striker.
Antonio, I have a question for you about the third striker. So we're gonna get a third striker, a young striker that is gonna earn $1 million a year, at least.
Okay.
So it's 2 million. Why you just don't give those 2 million to Kessie and play Leao if Giroud and Ibra is injured? And second thing, Pioli, I really like the manager. I really love Pioli. He's doing an incredible job. But Pioli is gonna have problem having 2 choices. Imagine giving him 3 choices. Imagine giving him an healthy Ibra, an healthy Giroud, and an healthy young striker. What is gonna happen in his brain?
Okay,
Make the choice. So
that's
gonna make a bigger mess if you give 3 choices than you actually give 2.
But
that's so. You just said that. I'm sorry. You just said that you love Pioli and you rate him. So how does giving him more choices make it worse for him if he's a good?
Because he's not
supposed
a
to be
big
able to-
manager. I always
okay.
say that.
I
He's not a big
I
manager.
know what he'll do. He'll select Kronic and make it.
I don't think he's a big manager. More choices you give to him, and more he's gonna have chances to make mistakes. If he has less choices, he's gonna try to find the best way, which that makes him a good manager that knows the basics. But as soon as he gets a lot of choices, he can actually make the wrong choice because he's not brave enough to put Ibra in the bench sometimes, or sometimes it takes 2-3 games to put Romagnoli in the bench and put Tomori.
True.
So we saw that in Pioli when he had the choices, and he did pretty well actually when he had less choices. So my point is, if you give him 3 strikers, first of all, the third striker is going to stay in the bench so many times because Giroud and Ibra, they want to play.
It's
And
factually
I don't think they're going
not
to get
true.
injured so many times.
That's factually not true. Ibra only played 40% of the games last season, and now he is 1 year older. I think he's going to play even less. We are going to be lucky if he plays 30% of the games. And if he is injured for the other 70% of the games like he was last season, it means that our third young striker is actually going to be our second striker.
I agree.
So Pioli will have less decisions to make since he cannot handle decisions.
But let's say Ibra doesn't get injured because, let's say because
how can you think? Let's say Ibra doesn't get injured.
I'll tell you how, because we didn't have Giroud the previous season, so Ibra was playing every game.
Ibra will play every game this year as well. every time he's healthy. This is how Ibra is, and this is how Pioli is. Pioli is not Guardiola that's going to tell him stay in the bench. Every time Ibra is healthy, he's going to be the starter. 100%.
But against Napoli, he got injured in the 70 minutes because we didn't have somebody to put in at the 65 minutes. Now we have Giroud that can get in the 65 minutes. Now we have a player that actually can play, and Ibra can rest because maybe his muscles are suffering a bit more and he needs a longer recovery. So I don't think putting a third striker. The striker they're actually offering us is the agent that is coming to Casa Milan to offer the player because he's not going to play any game to Monaco. That is my feeling. We are deciding we're gonna get him or not.
Guys, I just wanted to add to this conversation. So I think having a third striker is a good selection headache for Pioli, because in case like what Red John said, if Ibrahimovic is injured for the 70% of the season, then we definitely need someone to back up to Giroud. And as for playing Leao and Rebic as a striker, I definitely do not want to see that. Leao's hold-up play is terrible for a number 9. Even during the preseason, I saw him keep drifting to the left and coming in from the left. I don't think that he can actually be the traditional number 9 that we need in our system, which is why we actually signed Giroud in the first place.
But my question is, this guy, this third striker, is he going to be better than Rebic and Leao?
I mean, I haven't seen Pellegrini enough to say if he is better, but going by what I have seen little of him, I think he is a proper number 9 compared to what Leao is. Because Leao really struggled after Ibrahimovic's injury. I mean, if you look at his own record, his form dipped after Ibrahimovic got injured, because he's more comfortable playing off a number 9. When he has support, he's more comfortable playing as that shadow second striker that he or Rebic has been playing. So I think it's better we actually sign a number 9.
I agree, and my interpretation is like this: always between Rebic and Leao, there is one of them who's more informed than the other, which means playing Rebic is an upgrade to playing Leao at that certain point. If you have to put Rebic on the striker position, you have a weak striker position now because you have Rebic, and you have a weaker left wing because you have Leao instead of Rebic. Because Rebic right now with that left wing position, that's better. So because you don't have a third striker, because Ibra is always going to be injured, and Giroud can happen to be injured because Giroud has not been playing regularly for the last 5 seasons. For the last 5 seasons, Giroud has been a bench player. We don't know how Giroud will handle playing every game. We just don't know. We are acting as if we got 2 young, healthy strikers when we actually have a very injury-prone 40-year-old striker and a striker who's 35 years old and has not been playing as a starter for the past 5 years. We don't know.
I think from now until January, we have enough players. Adding a guy that is going to earn 2 million gross and staying in the bench 90% of the games is madness, in my opinion. I can play Leao. Those games that you cannot play Giroud and Ibra, those few games you can play Leao or Rebic. You don't need to pay a guy 2 million to stay in the bench. For me, it's crazy. In January, if you're seeing that Giroud and Ibra are injured and are actually struggling, you go and buy a striker. You spend the proper money.
You have already lost the points, Art. You have already lost the points because you didn't have him. You cannot go with the same idea as you went last season. Last season we got lucky. We got lucky to do well with Calabria as a center midfielder. We cannot
it's not the same thing.
It's the same idea.
Because this season we have players. We have enough midfield.
What players? We have the same exact players as we did last season.
The third striker we're gonna buy is not gonna be good enough, so we're not gonna make those points because this guy is playing.
How do you know that he's not going to be good enough?
Because no one good enough comes to stay in the bench to AC Milan. Or
he's 20 years old. Like Tonali is there.
Actually, guys, quick point: we don't have the same amount of midfielders as last season because we lost Meite. So we have to. We need a defensive midfielder replacement.
But I'm considering Bakayoko deal done.
Okay, yeah, of course. We need to. But you said that I wasn't sure about that since you said that right now we're ready. So just kind of confused. But we definitely need Bakayoko.
We are not, because we don't even have a cam. We don't have a cam. We only have Diaz. Like right now, our team is weaker than it was last season. Like I don't see how anyone can agree with that. Can disagree with that.
I want to give my take too. Going back to the original question, which Laert, I think you brought up, which was, can we, I think, win the Scudetto, or can we fight for the Scudetto, right? That was the question?
No. Be top 4. I don't think there is any player we can afford that can help us to win the Scudetto out there.
Okay, so be top 4.
That's
I think
simple as that.
my opinion is absolutely 100% yes. Also because I am 100% sure that we are going to get the players that we need to fill the roles. And I think that having all these players is not a negative, actually. I think it's a plus. I think having Giroud, Ibra, and a third striker. Now the thing is, I don't want to be a prophet here and say who's going to be injured, who's not going to be. I don't know. It is possible. Maybe you can look at statistics and look at both statistics and maybe deduct that the probability is that there are going to be injuries. But one thing I do agree with Laert here is that all the way up until December or January, if we finish the transfer market the way we're supposed to finish, which I am 100% sure that we will have the right amount of staff and players to be in a comfortable position to go into the second half of the season, do our purchases in the transfer market, in the winter transfer market, and then go the second half of the season into that top 4. I am very confident that we are a top 4 team. So that is my take.
I have one question. Do you guys think that last season, if we weren't first in the positions until December, the management would have gotten 3 more players? Yes or no?
If we repeat that question.
If last season, instead of being first in December, or in January, we were 7th, would the management have gotten 3 more players?
Well,
yeah.
I want to.
Huh?
I think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so. And Gazzinis has said that himself in the Twitch interview after we got top 4. He said that we planned Milan to be a team that finishes 5th or 6th.
No, he did not say that.
He said that in the live Twitch on the Milan channel. Like, I've heard it myself. I'm just not making
that
it
was. I don't know if
Gazzini
said it. When did he say that?
He right after we finished 4th, after the game with Atalanta, they had an interview with Maldini, and then some days later with Gazzinis. And he said that we planned a team to finish in Europa League, but this is very welcome. And then we took the necessary measures when we saw that in December we were the first. So we pushed to win that Liga.
We were first until January. We were first until February.
Yeah, but the transfer market was open in January. That's why I say until December.
I know for a fact that that's not what Maldini had projected.
I think what Gazzinis meant was that we actually overperformed, or we kind of punched above our weight, which was the actual truth. Because I remember starting from day one of the day one of the transfer campaign last season, we were always talking about reaching the Champions League. But I think then we got caught in a Scudetto battle.
We never said, even when we were first. Well, actually, after December, we started saying the top 4 is our objective. Before, are you guys kidding me?
No.
I just want to say, I think
this is ridiculous now. This is ridiculous.
I just want to say something.
This is not true.
No. Listen,
you are 100% wrong.
We shouldn't pay attention what Gazzides says, guys. I'm saying it in an honest way. He is talking about strategy overall. So what he's investing and the way he's running the club is a club that stays on the top 6 of the Serie A constantly. If the pitch talks that we are playing well and we can aim to win the Scudetto and go top 4, that is another discussion. That is what Maldini is doing. Is building a team to go top 4, to win the Scudetto. But the way Gazzides is running the club, the way he's spending the money, the way he's signing deals with sponsorship and everything like that, is guaranteeing top 6 club in Serie A. So that's why it talks like this. Every club, there is 7 or 8 clubs in Serie A, they want to aim the top 4, but just 4 goes there. So every club talks, apart from Juventus and Inter in the recent years, they always invested a lot of money to go top 4 and win the league, actually. The other clubs, they always think in a way that we are a top 6 club. We need to achieve the top 6, Europe. Champions League is a different amount of money. Europa League is so Gazidis, when Gazidis says we aim top 6, especially a year ago, it wasn't wrong. The players we had, they were players that were coming out 7 years in a row not going top 4. So clearly we were a team for the top 6. Pioli and Maldini and other players, they overperformed, and we achieved the 2nd place.
Yes, but how
sorry, hold on, and then go ahead. But I am a million% sure that Maldini, he projected, hey, Europa League was last year. Now this year we
Yes.
take it to the next step, to top 4, and then now what Maldini is saying, for the next 10 years we need to finish in the top 4. I don't care what Gazidis says. Gazidis is who he is. Gazidis doesn't matter. Okay, what Maldini says, that's what matters. Maldini is the guy. You take Maldini out of the picture, then yes, this club is a Conference League club. Okay. But it's what Maldini says. That's what matters. That's what we have to go by, not what Gazidis says.
Yes, but actually no, because Gazidis is the one who makes the connection between Maldini and the ownership.
No, Gazidis is dealing with the finances. He doesn't know shit
Exactly,
about
yes.
football.
Yeah,
If he sees the team, FC Milan, he doesn't know.
Exactly, and the way he expressed himself was that the investments we did were for a team to finish in Europa League. It doesn't matter. We managed to get top 4. My problem is here. If we are all somehow agreeing that our team overachieved last season, why is no one saying that we need reinforcements?
But we are a top 4 team. That's I don't understand why people don't understand this. The team right now is a top 4 team.
Guys, please mute.
So the team is a top 4 team. I don't know why people don't understand that.
Okay.
Why? It's simple as that. You just count the goal every single player is going to do next season, and you're gonna have an overall of 75 to 85 goals. With
How do you count
goals,
that?
you make a top 4.
But how do you count that?
Just count it.
We scored 72 goals with Hakan Çalhanoğlu. So imagine how much
We
can
scored
score without Hakan
75
Çalhanoğlu.
goals.
But
75 goals.
right now we have as a starter Hakan's sub. Like,
Yeah, but the Hakan
Hold on. You say we have a Hakan sub, but not anymore, because Pioli decided that Brahim Diaz was good enough to be a starter, and actually that decision that Pioli took is the reason why we're top 4.
you are wrong. Like, what?
How am I wrong? That's what happened. That's what we saw.
Again.
Listen, Red John.
Yeah.
This guy that you're saying is a sub and is not worth being a starter, he is the guy that scored the most important goal that propelled us into the top 4 against Juventus. That's the guy.
Maybe I don't remember it right, but I think we won 3-0 or 1-0 versus Juventus.
3-0.
But you need to do 1-0 to go and do 2-0.
Yeah, but
Right.
also
Without the 1-0, you don't go 2-0.
Because when you score that 1-0, then Juventus pushes up and gives us more space. Juventus becomes vulnerable.
Guys,
And Roy, he got the penalty for the 2-0, which we didn't do the goal. So he puts you in the play to go for 2-0.
Guys, again, Milan fans have this, but I think every fan has this recency bias. We watch 4 games of playing good. Diaz somehow.
Hello. You're talking about
Not
recency
really.
bias. If you're talking about recency bias, then
Rahid,
1 minute, Roy. If you're talking about recency bias, if you're talking about recency bias, how good has Hakan Çalhanoğlu been recently? He has been absolutely shit recently. Last 4 years, last 15 years, I don't care. He's been absolute shit. As
But
for Diaz, he's been progressing as a player, and
no,
he's actually better than the player who's actually
guys.
been starting.
Okay, like can we be objective for 1 second and not fans? Because
Yeah,
I
let's be
am
objective.
if I am being objective, I at least Hakan Çalhanoğlu,
why,
at least
guys?
Brahim Diaz does not trip
No,
over his own
Let-
dribbling.
Okay, guys, one
one
at a
question,
time.
really. Why did Hakan start every game this season and not Diaz?
Because Brahim Diaz was keeping getting injured. He got injured many times.
I have an answer for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
right.
because up until then, in Pioli's mind, Brahim Diaz was not ready. Okay, he didn't think he was ready. But
So he
then,
wasn't good enough.
no, Red John, listen to me. Football players are a project, they're a process. Okay, it's not that you're born and then all of a sudden you're a professional and you're ready to play for AC Milan. You have to take the steps to be ready to play for AC Milan. In Pioli's idea, you have this youngster coming in. He spent almost 1 year at Milan. Now a crucial time comes. Obviously, the same way in training, Pioli obviously saw, okay, you know what? Remember Juventus. What did he say? What did Pioli do? He said, okay, you know what? I have my whole team. I'm going to take Leao and Rebic, and I'm going to put Brahim Diaz because I think Brahim Diaz is ready. And, hold on. And I'm going to keep Çalhanoğlu. And I'm going to keep Çalhanoğlu there. Okay, fine. I'm going to keep Çalhanoğlu there. But Brahim Diaz, I'm going to put Brahim Diaz instead of Rebic and Leao. Fine. But that still means that Brahim Diaz is ready to be a starter. Whether he is doing what Çalhanoğlu does or whether he's supposed to do what anybody else does, it doesn't matter. His tactical purpose is there, and it means that Pioli is ready. Pioli thinks he's ready. So I disagree with you when you think that he's not ready. If Pioli thinks he's ready and then the results show that he's ready, it means he's ready.
100%, I guarantee you. Pioli was begging. Actually, even Çalhanoğlu said it himself. The only person in Milan who wanted me was Pioli, and Pioli wanted him.
No, I don't believe what Çalhanoğlu says.
Hold on. About the Çalhanoğlu conversation, I'm part of the 2% that I'm pro Çalhanoğlu. Okay.
Wait, guys, hold on. When did he say that? And what?
No. It is true. What Red John is saying is true. Well,
how recent is this?
Everything I say is true.
Pioli liked Çalhanoğlu, and Çalhanoğlu's tactical purpose in Pioli's system was what Pioli wanted. And that is the truth. That is the truth.
No,
But
I
now-
was asking.
But now the system is different.
No,
And it doesn't mean that Brahim Diaz won't
Why?
be used.
Why we are talking about Çalhanoğlu after 3 months he left? I'm shocked, seriously.
because we don't have a starter cam at the moment.
He put 6 goals that last season. He didn't put 35 goals. He didn't put 24.
And
He
the
put 6
11
goals.
assists.
11 corners and free kicks that everyone can do.
Yes, someone must take them though, right?
Tomori
hold on.
jumping 2 meters and 90 centimeters. That's not an assist, man. It's Tomori jumping 3 meters high. And that's not an assist. If you have a good feet, you don't put the ball 3 meters up in the air and waiting for defenders to get it. That's not an assist. I know he's gonna go on the assist.
All right, okay. Listen.
Brahim Diaz scored against Juventus. He stopped the ball. He dribbled the Juventus player and he put it in the set. And that is an assist in the statistic. That's not an assist, man. People need to understand that the impact Çalhanoğlu has in a real game is not as huge the numbers he's saying. 11 assists and 9 goals, 6 goals and 11 corners. That is the truth.
Okay, listen, guys. But one thing I want to ask Red John. Look, Çalhanoğlu is
Also,
gone. Sorry, let me finish this.
I just wanted to add to Layat's point. I mean, he's the free kick taker of the team, and the only free kick goal we got was from Krunic in Serie A.
Exactly. He didn't play one game. Krunic scored.
He scored against Celtic.
Imagine how impactful he was.
I was talking in Serie A. I was talking in Serie A.
So clearly, Krunic is better, but no one doubted that.
Okay, guys.
I never said that. I never said that.
Go, Roy.
Hold on. Red John, listen. Çalhanoğlu is the past. All right. So right now, he's not thinking about what Çalhanoğlu.
Yes.
Maybe that's why we saw in preseason how there's a tactical change, right? Brahim Diaz is not being used as a can. He's being used more as a second striker. All right. So it doesn't mean that we're gone. And Brahim Diaz, they gave him the number 10. If Maldini thinks that Brahim Diaz deserves a number 10, Maldini, 5-time Champions League winner, a legend, the best, one of the best in this sport. If he thinks Brahim Diaz deserves a number 10, that must mean that this kid is special.
Because we don't have the pool anymore. We have to actually give players good numbers in order for them to come.
Listen, maybe that is true, but let's stick to the facts. Let's stick to the fact. Do you agree with me that Ibra is gonna score 14 goals next season?
No.
How many goals is gonna score next season?
10 maximum.
Okay, 10 goals. Let's say
Yeah,
Ibra 10 goals.
Mhm.
How many goals do you think Giroud is gonna score?
Less than 10.
So he's gonna score less goals than Rebic, because Rebic
Yes.
scored 11
Yes.
goals previous season.
Yes, because in his history, 15 goals has been his maximum of Giroud.
Yeah, but in
when
his
he has
history, he
been on his
never
prime.
played. He never been a starter. He's always been a bench player
No,
coming in.
Of course not. Only
Now he's gonna be a starter. He's gonna have his chance.
No. He has been a starter for Arsenal. He has been a starter in France as well. Like only in the last 5 seasons, he hasn't been a
Look
starter.
who's here, guys. Look who's here. The troublemaker himself. Go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so you are saying that Giroud is gonna score just 10 goals, less than 10.
Do you want to make it 15? Let's make it 15.
No. Let's say 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think we're gonna get at least 10 penalties next season?
Yes.
Are we gonna score 9?
Yes.
So KC is gonna have 9 goals next season.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 30. Rebic, is he gonna go at least 9 goals?
10.
10. So we have 40.
Mhm.
Do you think Leao is gonna do 6 goals next season?
Yes.
And another 6, Ibrahim Diaz?
Yes.
So we are 52.
Yes. No.
So Benacer, Tonali, Bakayoko, Krunic, they're gonna score
Theo
together
Hernandez.
at least 8 goals.
No, because Tonali scored 0. Benacer scored 0. Krunic scored 1.
He scored 1.
So you cannot add 6 now.
But they're
Rejan,
Theo
And
Hernandez.
I have a question for
and
Rejan.
this is my problem.
But they're gonna improve Selemaker and all of these people all together. They're gonna score 10 goals. All these players, they're gonna score 10 goals.
And then we have 60 goals.
Yeah.
Listen,
Theo Hernandez is gonna do 4 goals now.
I don't
Yes.
agree with a lot of what Red John has said. but
What
I'm
about
agreeing-
Calabria? Is he gonna
Hold on, one
going
second,
to
one
score 2 goals?
One second.
True.
I agree with what he's saying now but the problem is this: with our money and it's the end of the mercato, we're not like it's not looking like we're gonna get like a big goal scorer, anyways. So I mean, who are we gonna get that can really improve our like goal scoring from like by another like 10, 20 goals? Like I mean, we don't have the money to get someone like that. I mean, unless
I have a counterpoint to that. How many times did we actually play with a full team last year in the Serie A? We suffered 60 injuries and we had to keep changing our team many times. It actually affects a lot of our team chemistry when you just keep playing a different 11 every time. It does not help the teams. I mean, we even had one time Samu Casleo playing as a false 9. So I think it actually affects the team chemistry. But if you're playing the same 11, if you're playing the same tactics every time, it actually helps the players to solidify their
I do
position.
understand. Listen, you guys stopped me with in a simple, basic concept that even Allegri said this concept. If you want to win the Scudetto, you need at least 80, 85 goals. To win the Scudetto, you need 85 goals, something like that, roughly, or 90. Depends on how bad you are in defense, so you need more goals. So 80, 85 goals. I'm telling you, with the players we have, and we're staying low, Giroud 10, Ibra 10, we are staying low, Leao 6, Diaz 6, we are keeping it low. We go 70, 75 goals with this team we have right now. And you guys are staying low. If you have Giroud that actually gets a season 15, if you have Ibra that actually get a season, the previous one, 14, 15 goals, 16, whatever, 17 he did. and you have maybe Leao that goes 10 goals, you already are challenging for the Scudetto.
Yeah,
So I don't know. This is the math. That is how Serie A works. That's how all the managers think. I have this team. I know these players can actually guarantee me this amount of goals. So we go, we move. Do you think Lazio, Roma have the players to achieve 75 goals? I can tell you, if I see the names and I see what they've done the previous year, probably they're not going to achieve the amount of goal that you're saying. So I think AC Milan is a good team to achieve 70, 75, 80 goals a season. And we're going to concede less because we conceded 41 goals the previous year. And I think we're going to concede less. We're going to concede between 35, 37 goals this season. That's my opinion. So we're going to manage to go top 4 easily.
And also, you have to consider that the players are not getting worse; they're getting better, right? So you would have to. I mean, at the end of the day, Red John, it really comes down to. First of all, I do appreciate you, and I'm not. I do appreciate everything you're saying. It comes down to: are you going to be? Do you look at the glass half empty or half full? That it comes down to that. The players are going to be getting better, right? So you're expecting Leao to score more goals. Rebic is not on the down grade, he's on the upgrade. He's still, 27, 28, 29, 20, 30, 31, 32. So he's still going up. You're expecting to get more from him. You're expecting much more from Brahim Diaz. You're expecting still a lot from Ibra when he's going to be there. You're expecting goals from Giroud. You're expecting more goals from Kessie. Kessie's 24. He's going to be scoring more goals. You're expecting more goals from Benacer. Benacer is 23, so he's still getting better. Tonali, 21. You're expecting more from him. Teo Hernandez, only 23. You're expecting more from him. Calabria, only 23. You're expecting more from him. Salamakers who did not participate at all in that department. You would think, if you are going to be positive, if you're going to look at things positively, you're going to expect more goals from him. And the players that still need to get in. Florenzi has assists, has goals. So that's another guy that you're going to get goals and assists from him. And we know that Milan is going to get this right winger / attacking midfielder and a third striker. So my question to you, Red John, is you see the glass half empty rather than half full. Why? Why is that?
Because seeing the glass half full and being wrong means not being in the top 4. So I'd rather see it half empty and buy someone needed and make the top 4.
But you cannot play more than 11 players. That's the thing.
No. You don't have to play Diaz as a starter. You don't have to play Salamakers as a starter. You can improve both positions. This is my point. And
so you're telling me we're gonna buy someone that is gonna score more than 6 goals in Serie A for sure? We can buy. You think that Vlasic comes tomorrow, sign for AC Milan with a full San Siro with all the expectation? He's gonna make 6 goals next season in Serie A.
No.
That's the issue. We not consider. You get the best number 10. The guy that plays for Lazio, the one that Lotito wants 40 million. How many goals he did last season?
Luis Alberto, I don't know. Listen.
That's the problem. A guy that is playing in Serie A so many years, you never know he's going to score 6 or 7 goals.
Here's the thing. The thing is here. Having, what was his name? The guy that you said, Vlasic? Having Vlasic, who can maybe score 6 goals. Maybe he cannot. And not having him is the difference here. Maybe he can actually score 6 goals, and if he doesn't score 6 goals, you still have Diaz. So you lose nothing other than have the opportunity to have someone who scores more goals. You can never.
Because when you have another player, they're not gonna play both of them. So if Vlasic is playing, you're taking goals out of Diaz. So Diaz is not gonna go and score 6. Maybe Diaz, the previous season, if we didn't have Çalhanoğlu, we finished the season with 12 goals. We don't know that. That's the problem. That is how football it is. If you put another player, if you bring another player in the squad, you don't know what you're missing playing that player and not the other one. If you put a top player, somebody that is actually really good, that is proven, that is another level.
But
we clearly
how
were
do you
not
know?
going for that type of player.
But even with the top player, you have no guarantee that he will do good.
Listen, if you're doing for the last 10 years 20 goals a season, it's basically guaranteed. It's not, nothing is guaranteed in life, but it's basically guaranteed. That is the thing. Berardi's been doing 10, 15 goals a season with Sassuolo. If you buy him, you're gonna get 10 goals next season.
No, you're gonna get 20 goals, no, man.
Let's say you're gonna get 12. You're gonna get 10 goals.
Guys, there's a news. Positive meeting for Pellegrini to Milan. Agreement could be reached with Monaco for a loan with option to buy by tomorrow.
Aya, Red John, Aya. Bad news. No, listen, guys. I really appreciate Red John because he's bringing some counter arguments and he's given us a good debate. So that's as I said in the Milan Forum. Nobody is wrong. Nobody is right. Everybody has their opinions, and this is the way we want it.
That's not
go
true,
ahead.
Roy. I'm always right. I'm always.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I just want to say, guys,
and so is Red John. He said earlier.
Yeah, Antonio. Please.
Yeah, two things. Number one, Roy, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're wrong when you say that Romagnoli is like a top 5 world.
No, let's not start this. Let's
I wanna
start
say
this.
the second thing I wanted to say is to ask Rohit this question because I saw this morning when I woke up. This like news on Twitter, but I didn't really. I thought it was like some type of troll. Did you see that Bernardo Silva news?
Yeah, so somebody created a fake account called Milan Ice, and he's a troll who said that Bernardo Silva to Milan is done and stuff like that. So don't take it seriously.
So for some weird reason, it came up on my like notification mentions. I don't know much about Twitter. I just got it. I'm an Instagram person, but I was just I knew that it was very suspicious. So
somebody made a fake account and made up with that kind of news.
That is very weird.
Hey guys, I just want to. Sorry, let me just do this. I want to end the poll. What should we do with Kessie contract situation? So I want to end that poll and let you know what our viewers said. Going back to that, so 81% said give him what he wants. 81% is ready to give whatever he wants. 8 million, 9 million, 10 million. Play hardball, 18%. Nobody said let him run his contract. So nobody agrees with Laird.
No, I didn't say that. I said clearly if he really wants to stay to AC Milan, he knows what he can ask to us. And we're gonna give it to him. That is simple.
I'm joking.
That's my opinion. If he's not being real what he's asking, let's say he's asking 10, 12, clearly doesn't want to stay. Is a different way of saying I'm leaving. No, Lucas is here, guys. Let's close the live.
Antonio, I wanted to tell you something. Did you see the news from RMC about Bordeaux?
Yes, the one that one of our bid, or which one? The one that we bid? Like
yeah.
We
So this is a very interesting piece of news regarding Adli. So if Bordeaux have 2 players lined up to, to buy. So if they actually want to buy new players, they'll have to sell 2 players, and then and those 2 players are Toma Basic and Yasin Adli.
Yeah, I did. I saw that. So
and the most interesting news is the fact that the owner of Bordeaux is the guy who owned Lille last year, who lost the club to Elliott.
Yeah, that's crazy. Just like just really quick for a next topic idea. Since Serie A is starting tomorrow, maybe we can talk about that, like some games tomorrow. But that maybe later.
Guys, it's open floor. Open floor. Go ahead. Just bring up whatever you want.
Which games are being played tomorrow? Inter Genoa and.
Actually, I have a topic. I have a topic right now. I saw a little bit of Sampdoria, Alessandria, and I'm going to do a preview. I'm going to do a tactical thing on Sunday night, a short video. I'm telling you guys right away, Sampdoria, from the defense to the midfield, they don't look very good, to be honest with you. They don't look special. But up top, they have Quagliarella, which still looks freaking amazing. And then they have Gabbiadini, that looks decent. They have Damsgaard, and they have Candreva. So offensively, they have players that could cause damage. So Milan does have to. They have to be careful. They do have to be careful with Sampdoria because they do have some offensive weapons that could be dangerous. So you guys can take it from
about Pellegrini is a real thing. Like Romano, is anyone
Yes,
saying that?
yes, it's confirmed that by Romano and Di Marzio that like we're talking with him, right? Like that's one of the, like I said yesterday in the video, it's like one of the three main pieces of news with like that are 100% confirmed to be true. Like with
this news came from Carlo Laudisa, who's actually a really good source.
Carlo Laudisa. Yeah, go ahead. Which news?
We lost him.
The current one I said, just the breaking news that I just said about Pellegrini, it came from Carlo Laudisa.
Sorry.
Carlo Laudisa is the Gazzetta dello Sport.
And another news that I read from Pellegrini is that maybe the mystery Mr. X could be Jesse Lingard.
Who?
The
Jesse
Mr. X
Lingard.
player.
Could be who?
No, I mean we are trying to sign a player who can play as a number 7 and as a number 10. So
Yeah.
Pellegrini is saying that it could be Jesse Lingard.
Oh yes, I saw that today, and my opinion on that is I hope no, not at all. Now, if we get this guy, then we're wasting our money, in my opinion.
Our TikTok account is gonna go up.
I don't like
I
his
do not
agent
like
is
this player
Raiola.
at all, 0%. If
His
we
agent
get
is
this guy,
Raiola.
then me and Red John are going to be on the same page.
His
I don't
agent
feel
is
many
Raiola.
more.
Guys, I don't really trust Pellegrini too much. He said so much BS. Like he speculates a lot of stuff. Like I'm gonna be honest.
I don't think so at all, Thick Size. I don't think so at all. What makes you think
I
that?
like Jesse Lingard.
Guys, this guy barely made it into the team.
No, let's be honest. I've seen him with West Ham the last 6 months he played in Premier League.
He was insane.
He's fit. He's in a good condition. He's how can I explain it? He is fast, technique and stuff like that. I don't know as a mentality, it can bring problems.
That's what I'm thinking, guys.
I don't
That's
know
what
if
I'm
he's
thinking.
really motivated to change a league, come in a different country, and start everything from zero.
No,
It's
no,
a little bit difficult.
Also, he has been in the bench for all his life. He is like 29 years old now. So, whatever.
I mean, he's been in the bench for 2 years, but not his whole life. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's a player that he can do well in a AC Milan group. My opinion.
Another player which I actually thought of who can play as both right winger and an attacking midfielder was Angel Correa of Atletico Madrid.
How about Berardi?
No, it's not going to happen.
You don't think Berardi is going to happen?
We are not Juventus, man. We're not going to get him for free for 2 years. So
No, I think we're going to pay for Berardi. I think we're going to pay for him.
no, we're not paying any player. We paid
think
for
so.
Tomori because it was a sure thing.
I think the marquee signing is going to be a player, but we are going to have to pay for it. And I think they're saving their money for the marquee signing, whoever it's going to be.
I really believe it's going to be Ziyech from Chelsea. They're just dealing with the option to buy how much money. They are not sure.
If Berardi is the marquee signing, then I don't like it.
Oh my God! You guys are going to eat your
No,
words.
I mean,
you guys are going to eat
Roy,
your words.
No, Roy. I mean, I like him on a technical level, but I'm not convinced of his injury issues.
No, he's not going to have any injury issues. This
He
guy
missed
is going to
12
come.
goals last season.
Oh, that's fine. The
You must
players,
think that Pellegrini is a horrible signing then, because he's like the pinnacle of injuries.
guys. But if Berardi comes, we're winning the Champions League.
He's not coming, bro. It's not because I don't like the player. He's too expensive. Sassuolo is not selling everything the last minute.
So one of the news is that we heard today. I think someone brought it up. He's not in the team for this upcoming weekend. We know that he's on the market. We know that he's on the market. We know that he asked to be gone. And Pioli, it's the guy that Pioli wants.
But he's not a number 7 or number 10. He's just a number 7.
Well, he's a number 7 that could be used as a second striker. Yeah. He could be used.
If my hello.
Yeah, can I say
Oh
something?
my God! Here we go. Maybe.
Okay. I just wanted to address the what happened last time I was here. They were hitting. I apologize to him personally on Twitter. So this beef is over with. Let's not talk about it again. And Texas, I hear you saying on the chat that I need to behave. Why don't you join the forum and babysit me, bro? You're older than my grandpa, bro. You should probably babysit me.
Lucas, you just think with somebody and you're gonna ruin with somebody else.
Of course, Lucas.
Anyway,
Starts one and ends another. That's what he does.
Rohit, you can go for it, man.
Yeah, so what I was thinking was, I think if my calculations are
Six
correct,
eyes, come here and challenge him.
Bakayoko would be the backup to Kessie, and Adley would be the attacking midfielder backup, and we would sign somebody who can play a right wing and an attacking midfielder. So we will have a lot of positional rotations there. I think this is what the management has planned.
So you think Adli will come as Diaz sub?
I think if let's say for example, we sign Correa. If we sign Correa, I think Correa would be the starting player. Or maybe if Correa is playing as a right winger, then we would have Diaz as the attacking midfielder. It offers a lot of positional rotations.
I don't know, guys. I feel like
what?
I feel like Ziyech is done, man. They're just dealing with the option to buy. Chelsea wants 30. Milan wants to give 20.
Ziyech is injured.
There's no confirmation of Ziyech right now whatsoever.
I have the feeling that it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Ziyech or James Rodriguez. One of them.
James Rodriguez is the other guy. For me, it's either Berardi or James Rodriguez. Like, those are the two links that I see the most. Because I know James Rodriguez is flirting with the Serie A. And he said he's in a situation in which he's not in the Champions League. He's in a very volatile situation. So James Rodriguez is more realistic, in my opinion. Berardi is who Pioli wants. And what's happening now with Berardi, it's leading me to think that it's a possibility. Ziyech could make a case for himself to stay at Chelsea. For how he has been playing.
Can I ask a question to the panel? Do you guys think Correa is better than Diaz?
Which Correa?
The Lazio player.
No.
Is Correa better than Diaz?
No.
I
yes.
Yes.
It's better.
I say so.
I think yes, he is better.
I don't know.
Well, they're different positions, like pretty much. I see Correa as almost like a striker. Diaz is basically a pure number 10.
That is even worse if you're telling me that, because Correa in the last 3 years in Serie A, he's scored 5 goals in the first year, 9 goals in the second year, and 8 goals in the third year.
I mean, it's better. I don't know. But how much did he play in all those years?
He played 34 games the first year, 30 games the second year, 28 the third year. So he's even injury prone because the last year he missed a lot of games.
I don't think anyone was talking about that Correa. I think
the Atletico Madrid one.
The attractive.
No, I'm talking about Correa Lazio, because there is a lot of hype for him. 40 million is a great. Everyone is talking great player.
I don't think Milan need him. I think
him.
he plays in the same position as Leao and Rebic.
Who? The Atletico guy?
No, the Lazio guy.
I don't think he's good enough for us.
No,
Me too.
I don't think he's good enough. Also, he's a second striker. Like he's like Lautaro Martinez, but shittier.
Yeah, and he's 27. So
I want to correct Ollie. It's not 40 million. They brought it down to 30 million. All right, sorry. Keep on going.
Talk me or Rohit?
No, Ollie said they want 40 million for Berardi, but Berardi's price went down to 30 million.
No, I have a question to Red John. Why so negative?
It's not that I'm negative. It's just.
How old are you, Red John?
27.
Oh yeah, you told me the other time.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you've been.
I've been around. I've been around to enjoy a good part of Milan. So
And the bad one.
And the bad part as well. Yeah.
I understand.
No, but the thing is here, like, I think we have kind of set an objective, and the objective is top 4. And I think betting on this objective is not the way to go, in my opinion. I think we should do the best thing possible. And by best thing possible, I mean not wishful thinking, not thinking that, oh, our players will just score more goals. Instead, go and buy someone who more or less guarantees more goals.
We do not have the budget to go and buy someone.
We don't have the budget to buy someone worth it. Even this guy, Correa from Atletico Madrid, he played one game.
He would be minimum 50 million. I don't think it's possible unless it's a loan with obligation or loan with option.
If Correa is 50 million, then Rebic should be like at least 45.
Exactly.
I meant Atletico Madrid. I meant Atletico Madrid. I meant Atletico Madrid's Correa, not Javier Correa.
What's up, Hamza? How you doing, my man? Guys, we have a new guest, Hamza.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How's everyone?
Excellent.
Forza Milan. A couple days away.
Roy, you would say Angel Correa, yeah?
I'm talking about Angel Correa.
Yeah, Angel Correa, one game last season.
Oh, damn.
Pardon?
Damn. Ticks. Oh my God! There you go.
Oh, that was bad, man.
Tick size. Come on.
Hey, yo, Lucas punches. Tick size punched harder. So that's what happened.
I'm on Lucas side.
Lucas is getting personal.
Lucas is in a position not to say anything because last time he said something.
No. I understand why he's going for my mom, because he likes soggy stuff. He's an old man. He's an old man, so he's an old man, so he likes saggy stuff.
Let's stop this thing here, guys.
I understand you thick size. You like saggy stuff.
Yeah, I was speaking about the negative.
I respect the jabs. I respect the jabs coming back and forth. All right, keep on going. Sorry.
Why is a negative, bruh?
Who is negative?
Well, he responded to you.
Red John.
He responded
Okay. No, I was talking. I was talking about the kind of spending difference. So I think Antonio touched upon it in the last stream, but let me kind of jog the memory. So they took a kind of research as to who spent the most. So the most amount of money spent by a league is Premier League at 1.1 billion. And then it is Serie A at 400 million. So Premier League just spends 600 million more than us. That is the kind of just imagine that's the kind of money they earn. So they actually have a better budget than all of us. And here in AC Milan, we are penny pinching. We are asking for loan with option. We are asking with loan with obligation. So how can we actually sign better players?
Yeah, but we are part of the guilt. Or we are part of the reason why Serie A is doing so poorly.
I can't. I can agree with that to an extent, But I think that I think the marketing and the way that the Premier League set up since '93, they
92,
haven't
yeah.
done the Serie A, actually done anything actually to help. Look at Roma, for example. They've been trying to build a new stadium since like 2016. So like even now their stadium has not even started construction. I don't know when we are going to start construction for our. AC Milan and Inter Milan are going to start constructing a new stadium. It's kind of really terrible, the kind of the administration, the bottlenecks, the red tapeism. It's so really bad. I don't know like how or let's even take the example of Juventus. They have their own stadium. They've been dominating Serie A for 9 years, and still their only signing is Locatelli on a free loan transfer.
Yeah, but
It's
the sum that they are signing Locatelli is 70% of our budget overall of what we spent.
Yeah,
This
but
is
that's
yeah.
spread over 2 years. It's spread over
Well,
2 years, and
I
and
don't, I don't, I don't care if it's spread over 2 years. So we can spread it over 10 years and buy Messi. It doesn't matter. Like
it does
spreading it,
matter. It does matter for the club who is actually selling it.
then our managers are not competent enough to do it. Like, why do I care? Oh, Juventus is going to do it in 2 years. Why didn't we do it in 2 years? Are we
But
less good at
We got
negotiating?
Diaz. We're gonna pay in 2 years.
No, we are not going to pay it. We got it on loan for 2 years.
Even
We are,
Juventus, they got it on loan. Locatelli. They didn't buy him.
as a matter of fact, they got it on loan with obligation to buy. But
Okay,
as a matter,
us
as
the same with
no.
Diaz.
As a matter of fact, even on the Diaz deal, it was a deal which treats us like a small team. We got it on loan for 2 years. We are going to grow him, and if he explodes, Madrid buys him back for 3 more million, like a small team,
Maldini
acting,
bought.
acting,
They
acting
gave
like a small
Maldini a
team.
small team to run, man. I know the history, but they gave Maldini a small team to run. Like
Good,
in
good.
1985, 86, when Maldini started to play football, he
Mhm.
started to play football for a small team.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
yeah, sure.
They gave him a small team that was finishing 7th, 8th, 6th,
Mhm.
and he brought it second position in
No, no,
1 year and a half.
it wasn't Maldini. It was Berlusconi that brought it.
No, I'm talking about this Milan. The
Uh-huh.
one, yeah, of course, was Berlusconi. So
Yeah.
I
So
don't think Maldini is. He has a lot to do. The dude is 50 years old and is going on holiday in Ibiza to sign players. So
I have a question.
he's putting his
that,
face to try to sign players.
no,
Are you
but
guys
sure,
going to
but
do? Are you guys going to do a scoreline prediction for week one for Serie A?
No. I mean, we weren't planning
That'd
to
be
do that.
fun.
What is that? What are you
No,
gonna
We
do?
can do
no,
it now.
What about Serie A
I
kit ratings or something like that? That'd be cool.
We were thinking to do the prediction, Serie A prediction during the international break. After you watch 2 games, you have an idea how the teams they look, and we can do a prediction for the Serie A how it's gonna end up.
Okay, I actually have another interesting topic to talk about then. Like right now, I saw this post about like just richest club owners, and some of them were pretty surprising. Um, these are individuals, obviously, but the obviously number one is Manchester City's owner, but number two is RB Leipzig's owner, and
yeah,
Red Bull, yeah.
yeah,
the
Agnelli's the
Red Bull group.
third. And the fourth is Hoffenheim's owner. So and then
Yeah.
there's Abramovich. LA Galaxy's owner is sixth. Arsenal owner seven. Inter's owner's eighth. PSG's owner nine, and then the New England like Revolution's owner's 10th.
And let me tell you something that means nothing. That means nothing. What means everything is that technical director. This is what, going back to the Gazidis thing, Gazidis is an executive or something. The technical director is what matters the most. And we have, I think, a top 4 technical director in Europe. Paolo Maldini.
Silence, man, in the channel.
Actually,
You guys will see. You guys will see.
Because Maldini is just buying what Moncada says. Like, we are just buying French players. French players come from Moncada's scouting, and that's it. Like,
Theo Hernandez was recommended by Moncada, bro.
Roy, I'm gonna say Maldini.
No, I'm sure Maldini knew who Theo Hernandez was.
No. Theo Hernandez was recommended by Moncada. Moncada himself.
No, Maldini knew who Theo Hernandez was. Theo played for Madrid.
Guys, but let's be objective here. Right? I mean, I understand Red John, and guys, please, Red John, okay, it's fine that you're maybe a little bit more negative than other people, but let's also be objective. Moncada and Maldini are talking, we're discussing, right? I'm sure Maldini is very, I'm sure they're listening to what Maldini is saying, okay? Like Moncada suggests the player, Maldini is saying, yes, that's the guy, according to the budget that we have, according to all the things that we have, according to what Gazidis is telling us that we can do, Moncada, yeah, I think this guy is the right guy. I'm sure Moncada has suggested many other players to Maldini, but Maldini has probably said, no, I think this would be a better player. I'm going to go with this one.
I mean,
I'm sure
that's Moncada's job. I mean, it's Moncada's job to scout the players. And he actually puts, like, let's say, a 5-name list on the table for Maldini and Masara to go through, and they pick 3 and then they sign whoever is financially feasible. That's how the team works. It's not like Maldini just sits in a chair and he checks out some kid playing in the Belgian Super League in the 3rd division of Belgium. That's not how it works. There's a lot of scouting and there's a lot of data analysis that goes behind the doors, even beyond Moncada and so many people. So it's not just one person deciding who we sign and who we don't sign. Gazidis, Armstead, Moncada, Maldini, Masara, they all have a say on one transfer. It's not a one-man job.
Exactly, and not just that, but the sporting director is also, its job is also selling players. We are not selling players. Like, our bad players.
Bro, we can only sell a player.
Are impossible to sell when we have Chelsea selling their bad players for 40 million. Or when they have Bakayoko, imagine, Bakayoko has not even been part of the Chelsea team, and somehow, with loan fees, Chelsea are getting its value worth. And
because it's Chelsea. It's Chelsea.
What does it even mean?
Right, John, Carlo Moretti earlier said something very wise. Rome wasn't built in a day.
No, but my problem is this: are we building Rome, or are we building...
We are building something bigger than Rome, man.
We're building Milan.
Hey,
guys, sorry, Rahit, just 1 second. Guys, please vote the poll so we can end this discussion. Lucas and Tick Size, vote. So we can end this discussion.
Lucas and Tick Size.
I have a question. Who won the Champions League last year?
PSG.
Yeah, so Chelsea did, right? So signing Chelsea's third choice midfielder is still, he still has the quality, right?
Imagine being in 2011 or 13, something like that, and signing Salah as a wastage or De Bruyne as a wastage. That's how you look at Chelsea. Chelsea has some players, they look wastage, but they are the next thing coming up. Yeah. Because Chelsea has so many good players. There is at least 2 or 3 youngsters of Chelsea that now are on loan, that if you sign them, you make an insane deal. But of course, Chelsea is not going to give away these players easily. So signing from Chelsea is not a bad thing. Signing from what we're signing from Villarreal, Castillejo, that is a bad thing. Signing Vlasic from a Russian team, that is a bad thing in my opinion. That's wrong.
I almost just agreed with everything you said up until the Vlasic thing. But before that, I was agreeing with everything that you said because I think we were really lucky with Tomori's deal because it was at a time when Chelsea had Lampard and they were a huge mess, and he wasn't getting any playing time. And then shortly after that, Tuchel came in, and I can guarantee you that Tomori would have thrived and had time under Tuchel. because Tuchel immediately tried all of the different players. Marcus Alonso never played before, and then just for one example, he started playing. And so that I think it was just perfect, and it was part of the deal. I mean, it's not like it was like a free transfer. We paid like almost 30 million, because when you buy players from Chelsea, they're not going to give you stuff for free. But we got a good player, and with an option to buy in the deal, so it worked out for us.
Antonio, I'll tell you what, Chelsea had to sell Tomori because was the only player that had a market. No one wanted to buy Marcos Alonso. No one wants to buy the other players.
They didn't have to sell. No. They didn't have to sell him. They would have loaned him.
No,
out.
they have to sell them.
No, they would have. No, they didn't have to. They would have.
Yeah, because they spent 260 million. They have to sell in a certain way. They
could have just loaned him out. It wasn't in their plans to necessarily to sell him.
Tomori was their only option to get rid of. Like that was the
exactly. That's the only player they couldn't make 30 million.
Everyone else was.
They didn't have to. If not, they would have tried to negotiate a straight up deal. Like Milan, it was not given that Milan would have paid 30 million. It was not a given.
They didn't even want to include the buy option when they loaned him.
They included it because Milan likely negotiated.
Because we insisted.
Exactly.
Yeah, we insisted. They would have taken him back. But
the thing is, they didn't have to sell these players. But since they had no offers, they are only trying to loan them out. Because the kind of fees they're asking for Emerson Palmieri, for example, they're asking 20-30 million for him, but nobody's ready to pay that 20-30 million. So they end up loaning the player. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of market we are in right now. When you have shit players like Samu Casleo and nobody wants them, how can you blame the sporting director when there's no offer for such a shit player?
Yeah, and
who would want to buy
just to back up my reasoning for why Tomori would have likely they wouldn't mind have kept him. So they just started in their first Premier League game another young player called Chaloba, who was actually on loan to another team. Tuchel started him in the first Premier League game, and he scored. He's also very young. So Tuchel would have easily cycled through. And I honestly think that Tomori, and if you look at what the Chelsea fans are saying,
Antonio,
they all liked it. Do you think Tomori would have just failed and they would have?
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened, because it happened. Lampard takes Chelsea. Tomori plays 16 games in the second half of the season, and they go top 4. Lampard liked Chelsea. The management told Lampard, we have to sell Tomori because he's the only one that has a market, and I need to make 30 million because I just spent 260 million buying Verne, Ziyech, and Havertz, and Mendy.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
Wrong.
So that's what happened. If they can choose to keep Tomori and sell Rudiger or sell another player that is Marcos Alonso, they can sell Marcos Alonso, but they cannot because it doesn't have a market. And another example is we want to sell Casti and make 10 million, but we cannot sell him.
Okay,
we are forced to sell Auge, which is a better player, because we need those 12 million.
But Lars, do you understand that if Tomori's a good player, Chelsea aren't a team that, yes, they did have to make some sort of profit or revenue, but at the same time, they're Chelsea. If a player is good on their team, they don't need to sell the player.
Every team needs to sell. Every team needs to sell. And then you have to deal even with the player. The player is like, Chelsea wants me to stay, but I'm going to be the third choice because Kurt Zuma is going to play before me.
That's not the argument that I'm making. Of course, Tomori wanted to leave. And
so there is a lot of things. And the same thing is for Tammy Abraham. Of course, Chelsea want to keep Tammy Abraham as a third striker because it's better to have Tammy Abraham and Lukaku playing. But Tammy Abraham is saying, I want to leave. I want to play. I don't want to be the second option. So they have to sell it for 40 million.
Of course, but I'm sticking with my point that if they didn't sell him at the time, then he would have thrived and done well under Tuchel, and they wouldn't have sold him in the summer. That's what I think personally.
Guys, are we really talking
about the individual players?
Yeah.
Are we really talking about the market when the season starts tomorrow?
Everything revolves around the market.
Let me end the poll to see who won, Lucas or Tick Size. Let's see. And the winner is the judges have decided that the KO. Tick Size wins 73%. Lucas 27%. So Lucas, you got to take that.
That comment just was too amazing to.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Yeah, that comeback was actually good.
Anyway, Lucas is a new man, guys. So respect the dude.
No. I'm not a new man. I just think the comeback was good. I'm sure.
Okay, listen,
I'm
Lucas,
sure. I'm
we'll
sure.
Hey,
do what you want.
Lucas,
We'll do what you
we
want.
should have never
We'll do
sold
what you want.
Hauge.
I'm sure. I'm sure it took him like 10 minutes to think about that comeback. I'm sure he asked. He, I don't know. I don't know who he asked, but he asked someone for a comeback. He definitely did make that one.
That's one thing I missed out. Ignacio Abate is our new under-16 coach.
Okay.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that as well.
All right, guys, listen, let's finish with this today, all right? Let's finish with
Stereo predictions.
Stereo predictions, yeah.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Let me get this.
Are we doing the Red
A
and Black
quiz?
Sunday stream?
Say what?
Are we doing Red and Black Sunday stream this week?
I'm not available Sunday in the afternoon, so if Larry is available, yeah. Go
For what?
Red and Black Sunday?
Yeah, we can do something, yeah.
Roy, do you have a quiz ready?
No quiz today. No quiz today.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. What's the question?
I was just joking.
Wait, this
I
guy
still
goes
remember.
comebacks.
I still remember.
You literally got your comebacks, bro. Oh my days, you're such a boomer.
I still remember when he joined and he was like, "What is Lucas smoking or something?" Because Lucas was saying that Inter have a chance to win the Champions League.
He literally just types best comebacks for
Lucas.
adults or something.
All right, guys, listen. Let's
Six
do
says,
these,
"Join the stream. Come on, we need you in here."
we will do the 1v. Now, I want to end the stream soon, guys. We can't go on for forever. It's we gotta put rules to these streams. Okay, this is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship, and Red John.
And
is
I'm the dictator.
No. Red John is a dictator. Red John.
Nah, I'm the dictator.
All right, let's get this
As
going.
Rohit always says, I don't like democracy. So there we go.
Let's do. Hold on, let me get the.
Red John, I hope you're not right because we are screwed if you're right, man.
I hope I'm not right too, man. Like I say these things.
We're completely fucked if you're right, man.
Hoping I'm wrong. This is the whole point.
I feel like Roy and Red John are like polar opposites. Like Roy's always like super optimistic about Milan, and Red John is just like talking about how we're like
No,
cursed.
but listen.
I like
always,
Rajan.
I'm always pessimistic in the transfer period. After the transfer period is done, I'm super optimistic.
No, I actually
there is nothing you can do come 1st September. Get it? So
I
you have to be optimistic.
I actually had a theory regarding the transfer market, not just for Milan fans, for fans of every club. I kind of feel that the transfer market dictates our mood in terms of our life as well. we get so bloody addicted, like maybe how kids get addicted to drugs, or like how people get addicted to alcohol. We get so addicted to this transfer market, we just bloody take up the whatever social media and we scroll our social media and see who is Milan signing or who is Arsenal signing or who is Chelsea signing, and you don't see the news and you're like, bloody hell, you don't have players for this position, and then you
It's
get
like you're in withdraw from like a
yes,
addiction.
exactly. It's like, and then suddenly you see, I mean, you're so desperate, you even start believing bloody Tuto Sport. Tuto Sport would say that Milan are ready to sign Vesely for 4 years. Vesely was wearing a red and black underwear, so that kind of shows that he's ready.
Mbappe was wearing a Milan shirt in that picture when he was a kid, and everyone always talks about
yeah. And then, I mean, then you get this dopamine effect on your head, and you're like, yeah, life is back again. it kind of has that kind of effect on your life. It's so amazing.
Roy, Roy.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of the transfer market at all. I just hate it.
Roy's
all right, guys.
that old teacher's like, don't do drugs, kids. Also,
Yeah,
Roy,
drugs are not good.
Roy,
Okay?
can you pin Tick Size's comment?
I will not do a stream when Lucas is ready. A man doesn't sit on the child's table. I will not join the stream.
It's the same one.
All right, we'll do a nice 1v1. We'll do a nice 1v1, Lucas versus Tick Size. But we got to end this stream, guys. So let's finish with this. Let's start with Inter Genoa. I'll go first. I say I have no confidence in Genoa. I think 1-0 for Inter. Let's go in order.
Who scores, Hakan?
Hakan Çalhanoğlu gets the assist. Yes. Lars.
I think it's going to be a 2-2.
Man, we got to write this down, though.
Let's say a draw.
Hold on.
Let's just say like win, lose, or draw, maybe.
Hold on now. We gotta keep track of these focus. Hold on.
Are you gonna write it down? It's on video, man.
Well, no, it's actually cool to make like to see who was right and wrong. Like if we keep, because I don't think we want to go back and fish for it in the video. It's gonna take too long.
That's true.
We can do win, lose, or draw, and then specify the score or not. Up to you guys.
Yeah, you know what? We don't even need to specify the score.
Yeah, it's gonna take forever. There's too many games. Do we have to predict the Milan game? Because I get really like superstitious about that.
Yeah, let's not.
Okay. All right. Let's keep on going. So, Lars said a tie. Red John, Inter Genoa.
4-0 Inter.
Woo-hoo!
I think we have an Inter fan.
That is a game to watch tomorrow.
Shock prediction: Genoa wins 1-0. Hakan scores an own goal.
That is a start.
Right. Antonio.
I'm gonna be realistic. I'm just gonna say Inter gonna narrowly win it, so it's a win for Inter. But it's gonna be like those, like the first game of the season. You look at them and you're like, oh no, they're actually good. But then they're gonna kind of crash later on. So that's what I think is gonna happen.
What is it?
So I'm not gonna say. Do it say the exact score?
Guys, we have to go through all of them. Please answer fast.
A win for Inter. I just say the exact score.
All right. Okay. Okay. Perfect. My bad. Lucas.
4-1 Inter.
Damn. Hamza.
2-0 Inter.
2-0 Inter. Nice. All right. There you go. So a lot of confidence for Inter. Verona Sassuolo. I say 1-1. Laird.
I say Sassuolo wins.
All right. Red John.
0-2 Sassuolo.
Okay. Rohit.
Sassuolo win.
Sassuolo. Antonio.
Draw.
A tie. All right. Lucas.
2-0. 2-1 Lazio.
What? Lucas, what are you smoking?
Lucas is reading big size comments. That's why.
Pay attention, Lucas. How are your grades?
Lucas says his commented something else in the chat.
2-1 Verona. 2-1 Verona.
He's getting distracted.
No. I mean 2-1 Sassuolo. 2-1 Sassuolo.
Wow. All right, and we have the chat also participate. What about you, Hamza?
Sassuolo will win.
All right, guys, we're going to go back to these. We're going to go back to these when the scores are done on Tuesday, and we'll see who was right.
Roy, you're recording this, right?
Yeah, this is recorded, so we'll see how good you are in your Serie A predictions.
Well, are you writing stuff down, or are you just?
No, it's being recorded. We're just going to go back to it, and we're going to see. Empoli Lazio. I'm going to go Empoli 2, Lazio 1.
I'll say a draw this one as well.
All right.
Yeah,
Red
I
John.
say a tie 1-1.
1-1. Hey, Rohit.
I think it's a easy win for Lazio.
Easy win for Lazio. Antonio.
Win for Lazio.
Lucas.
2-1 Lazio.
2-1 Lazio. Hamza.
Lazio.
Lazio takes the win. All right. Torino-Atalanta, guys. I said Torino is going to be relegated. 5-0 Atalanta.
I think Torino is gonna win, man.
By the way, did you guys hear about the Gasperini and Papu Gomez comments that were released?
Yeah, we
Yes.
see that.
I'm on Gasperini's side.
Are you insane? He like beat him up or something.
Yeah, he deserves it.
No. And the president of Atalanta came out and said that it was Papu Gomez that started.
Yeah, of course he came out and said that because him and Gasperini obviously are like he chose Gasperini.
Well, I'm not going to like take sides because I wasn't there, so I'm not going to judge anyone.
Okay, that's
All right. Let's move on. Red John. Hold on. Look at Larry said that Torino wins. That's a Larry. That's a take and a half.
I can tell you, Belotti is gonna score 2 goals.
All right. Okay. Red John.
Tie 2-2.
Wow. Rohit.
Atalanta 4-0.
Okay.
I hate
Antonio.
Torino.
Win for
I'm with you.
Atalanta.
Win for Atalanta. Lucas.
3-1 Atalanta.
All right. Hamza.
I don't know. I think Atalanta might get surprised tomorrow. Torino win.
Wow. I can't believe you guys actually think Torino might win this game.
Basically, all the time, Atlanta actually have a slow start.
Okay,
And they actually come good in the second half of the season. That's how they do it.
Here we go, guys. The two white and black teams. Udinese, Juventus. I say 1-1 tie. Laird.
I think Udinese is going to win.
Wow, dude.
Hold on. Didn't one of you guys say that Juventus is going to win the league? I'm confused.
I didn't say that.
Well, you can lose a game and win the league.
Okay.
Eastbourne says 1-3, 2-1. Boring draw. All right. Laird said, what did you say, Laird?
Udinese wins.
All right. Red John.
Juventus 3-0.
Damn. Rohit.
I think classic 1-0 shithousery win from Allegri.
Classic Allegri win.
Classic Allegri win.
Antonio.
I'm going to say 0-0 draw or 1-1 draw. So draw regardless.
All right. Lucas, pay attention to what we're doing.
Sorry.
Boy, you're actually a teacher.
1-1. 1-1.
1-1. Okay. Hamza.
Juventus.
All right. Guys, the most entertaining game of the weekend, Bologna-Salernitana. I say Bologna 2, Salernitana 0.
Bro, what is the chat doing?
I think Salernitana is going to win 3-2.
What? Okay. Larry just putting himself in a position, very compromising position. All right, Red John.
Bologna wins.
All right, Rohit.
I think Rodrigo Palacio, that 39-year-old gaffer, will score a hat trick.
He's not playing for Bologna
He went to
anymore.
Brescia.
Oh no! then I'm changing sides. I think Salernitana, CB will score a hat trick and they'll win 3-2.
All right. Okay. So who is it at Bologna or Salernitana?
Salernitana 3-2.
Oh wow. All right. Antonio.
I hate Bologna. Like I don't hate them, but I don't think they're good at all, and I think they're overrated. I'm gonna say Salernitana win it. I'm not gonna say the score, but
they have a Canadian owner, by the way.
Okay. All right. Lucas.
2-0 Bologna.
2-0 Bologna. All right. And Hamza?
We'll go with a tie.
Tie. All right. Guys, this is going to be a very good game. I think this is going to be a very good game because I'm very curious to see Mourinho. I'm happy that they won against Trabzonspor, whatever that team is, which has good players, good win.
This is game of the week right here.
This could be game of the week, yes. Roma-Fiorentina, I say 2-1 Roma.
I say tie.
Red John.
I think Fiorentina will win this.
Fiorentina wins. Rohit.
I think it will be a draw.
Tie. All right. Antonio?
3-1 Fiorentina.
Damn.
Statement from
What?
Fiorentina.
You know Mourinho won't allow that. Lucas?
And 3-2 Fiorentina.
3-2. Wow. All right. Hamza?
3-0 Roma.
3-0 Roma. Nice. Okay. Statement win there. All right. Napoli, Venezia. Spalletti, Venezia. I think this is going to be 4-0 Napoli.
Yeah.
Lart.
I think it's going to be 5-1 for Napoli.
5-1 Napoli. Red John.
Napoli, easy. I don't know, 3-0, something like that.
3-0. All right. Rohit.
3-1 Napoli.
3-1 Napoli. Okay. Antonio.
Oh man, I love Venezia, but I have to say Napoli win this. It's not going to be a huge win though.
Okay. Okay. Lucas.
4-0 Napoli.
All right. Hamza.
4-0, 5-0 Napoli.
Damn, a lot of confidence on Napoli. All right, guys. So now, the last two games of match day 1. Another super entertaining game. Cagliari Spezia. I'm going to give this one to Spezia because I think Cagliari is going to struggle. Spezia 3-2. Lart.
I think tie.
Tie. Red John.
Next one.
Red John, are you with us?
Oh, I'm on mute, man. Sorry. I think Cagliari will win this one.
Cagliari wins.
I think Spezia will relegate.
Okay, there you go. Rohit.
I think Red John's correct. I think Spezia will relegate, especially with them having a transfer window ban since January, and their coach is Thiago Motta. I think last season they held on because of Italiano, but this season I think they will get relegated.
So Cagliari takes a win?
Cagliari takes the win.
All right, Antonio.
Draw.
All right, Lucas.
0-0.
0-0. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Okay, Hamza.
Cagliari.
Cagliari. All right, and guys, the main event, which has the best team that has ever existed, Milan, of course. I say 7-1 for Milan.
You're gonna get us cursed, Roy. You're gonna get us cursed.
Don't curse it. Don't curse it.
No, man, be serious, man.
Roy's definitely a Juventus fan.
I'm serious.
That is bad luck, man.
Guys, what you will understand, every prediction I will make for Milan is always going to be either 7-1, 6-0, or 8-0. 7-1 AC Milan.
I think we're gonna draw this one.
Damn.
Okay.
Wow.
Red John.
He is just saying that so he doesn't,
Yeah, I do
He's
that.
trying to counter. He's trying to counter.
Okay. Can I get? Okay, guys, I'm gonna give my real opinion.
Yeah, please.
4-1 Milan. 4-1 Milan. Red John.
I think that is scaramantical. That's why he's doing that. Anyways,
Yeah.
I think we will win
Good job,
2-0.
2-0?
Yeah.
Actually, since it's Milan, we can spend a little bit more time. Let's go with the goals too. Who scores? So let's start again.
I can give you my motivation after. Yeah, go for it, Roy.
Okay. Yes. Since it's Milan, we can spend more time talking about me.
Remember, no Kessie and Ibra, so there's that.
No Kessie and Ibra. So I say 4-1. I say Brahim Diaz is going to be on the score sheet. I say Teo Hernandez and Giroud scores 2 goals. And Quagliarella scores for Milan. And I think Milan is going to dominate the game. 60% ball possession, 40% for Sampdoria. All right, Lart, your turn.
I think because Kessie is not playing, we are less productive in an offensive way, I would say. So it's gonna be really hard for us to find the goal. So that's why I think we're gonna get a tie. And I feel like the way we did the preseason, we're gonna start slow and end up really well. We're gonna close the season pretty well. So it's gonna be a slow start. If we start good like the previous year, we're gonna win the league. That's what I'm saying. So if we have like a great start, 5 wins in a row or 4 wins and a draw in a row, we're gonna win the league. But I think we're gonna start slow. We're not gonna achieve a lot in the beginning, and we're gonna end up really well.
Okay, so you said 1-1, right? Who's scoring?
1-1. I think Giroud goal. He's gonna start with a goal.
And for Sampdoria,
I don't know, man.
you have Gabbiadini, you have Quagliarella, you have Damsgaard, you have Candreva. These are the most likely scores.
I think maybe Gabbiadini can score. Yeah, Gabbiadini.
He looked really good against Alessandria, by the way, and Alessandria looked really good too, actually. So there you go, guys. 1-1 for Laerts.
Quick point.
Good.
I was watching the Bologna versus Ternana highlights where Ternana won 5-4, and there was a guy on Ternana that, I mean, their attack looked so dangerous for like a Serie B team. It was pretty crazy.
I was watching those highlights, Antonio. The Serie B teams look good.
Did you see that one guy who like he shot with his left foot and curled it like from out of the box on the post and in? It was pretty amazing. I didn't know that Serie B had those types of players. I mean, it looked better than Castillejo for sure.
It's Italy is Italy. All right, Red John, your turn.
So I think we will win, but we will not play good. I think the players who are going to score are not like your usual players, but I think it's going to be some defensive players. So probably Tamori one, and the other one, I don't know, Tonali maybe, like players who don't usually score.
All right. So you think it's going to be 2-0?
Yes.
But all right.
We are not going to play good. Like no one is going to be happy after the game.
All right. So poor performance, but a win.
Friend. I'm happy.
A poor performance, but a win. Tonali Tomori for Red John. All right. Rohit. It is 3 a.m. for Rohit, so he might be. Are you awake, Rohit? Are you with us?
I was actually looking at the score between PSG and Brest.
I also was looking at that.
Yeah, they're leading 3-2.
They are winning. Unbelievable.
Guys, 3-2. I'm telling you, this PSG team is going to get a lot of goals. Very unbalanced team. All right, Rohit, Sampdoria Milan.
Yeah, I think it's going to be going by the past 2-3 times I've seen Parma play under the Aversa.
Sorry. One second. Guys, what is that? Please mute. Go ahead, Rohit.
Yeah, I mean, going by the past 2-3 times, I've actually seen like Parma play under D'Aversa. I mean, he's used to playing a mid block, so I think he's gonna actually ask us to play and try to break down his defense, because that seems to be our weaknesses. So I think it's gonna be cross and inshallah for us, and that's where I hope Giroud can come into play and maybe try and get 2 headers in. I think Giroud will score 1 goal, and maybe another one will be from Leao or Brahim Diaz.
So you're saying 2-0, but you got to give me a definitive answer. Giroud 1 goal, and who is the other scorer?
Okay, I'll go with Leao.
All right, there you go. 2-0 for Rohit, Giroud, and Leao.
I just want to say something. If we win 2-0 and Giroud and Leao scores, they're going to have an amazing season.
All right, there you go.
I just think this is just my prediction. I mean, this is just my feeling. If Leao is able to play alongside Giroud, like if Giroud and Ibrahimovic are managing to stay fit for the season, I think Leao will actually come well this season.
All right, okay. Guys, remember, this is being recorded. We will go back to this recording and see who was right. So, Antonio, your turn. Go ahead.
So, for AC Milan, I don't state my predictions. I have feelings, I have hopes, in my head, and I have like outcomes that I think are going to happen, but I never say it because, for bad luck purposes. I don't want a situation where like you take the win against Spezia for granted and you lose 2-0 after like the worst performance. Like that game, my hopes were so high, and that performance was disgusting, and I don't want those to happen again. So I'll say I have good feelings about the game, but I'm not going to say what the score will be because
No.
I'm not giving a score. I can't.
We can always say we're gonna lose. That is
no. Hey, that is not allowed. That is not allowed. You have to put that's not the rules.
I can't give you a score prediction. I can't do that.
You have to.
Dude, we're gonna lose the game, Roy. If I tell you.
No. What is it? So say we're gonna lose.
Okay.
And
if we tie or lose the game, then it's all Roy's fault. 'Cause I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna say.
I'll take the responsibility.
2-1 Milan.
And who scores?
Giroud, 2 goals.
And what about Sampdoria?
I have to say Quagliarella.
All right. Okay. There you got it. Antonio says 2-1. He thinks that he's going to jinx it, but don't worry, Antonio. Don't worry. I said 4-1. Okay, Lucas, your turn.
2-0. Giroud scores a double.
Giroud scores a double. A lot of people are confident in Giroud. Even Carlo Moretti says Giroud. All right. So that was a quick answer. Anything else you want to add, Lucas?
Tick size is my son.
All right.
What?
All right. Hamza, you're next. What do you think? Hamza, you got to unmute.
Sorry about that. I think after watching the game, we'll be disappointed about how we performed, but I think we'll come away with 3 points. So I'm gonna say 2-0, or maybe we concede 1. 2-1.
All right, 2-1. So you're kind of similar to Red John. You think we're going to have a bad performance, but we're going to win, which is very possible because remember that Sampdoria, their preparation is probably, if we want to look at it objectively, Sampdoria had an official game just a few days ago, or was it yesterday, I think. So their preparation is probably arguably in front of ours. So they already have that game. Just one game really of intensity, while Milan doesn't. So it is a fair assessment from both Hamza and Red John. So you say 2-1. Who's scoring?
Giroud and Leao, if he starts, or maybe Rebic.
No maybes. Give me some definitive answers.
Giroud, Leao.
Giroud, Leao, and what about Sampdoria?
We'll go with Candreva because he always loves performing.
Candreva looked really good against Alessandro. All right, guys. So I think, did anybody say we're going to lose? I forget.
I'm the only one to say tie.
I'm tempted to change it and say so for good luck, but
guys, we're all saying that Milan is going to win, so we're probably going to lose. So that's the way it goes. Well, listen,
if we lose, I'm going to be here complaining.
So you should. But guys, so we're going to go back to this prediction in particular. I don't really care about the other ones, and we'll see who got it right. But I think it's correct to be.
I can't wait for you guys. I can't wait for Pioli out to start trending after.
Oh yeah, okay. For sure. Okay. All right, guys. Nathan, right? Yes. All right, guys. Listen, this was a great stream. I think we had a great conversation. Everybody said their piece. I think it's good. We were almost 4 hours.
Roy, can you pin the chat real quick? This is getting too good, man. In the chat, I have to say.
Lucas, I just went to the Twitter and looked in the polling paperwork. Tick says you must be shooting gold. I like the back and forth. Hey guys, anyway, listen, everybody, thank you so much for joining the stream. So Sunday, Laird is going to be taking care of Red and Black Sundays. I'm going to do a video later, and then on Monday we're going to do a watch along, commentary of the game, watch along, post game, and I believe Ari is going to do his reviews. So a lot of content coming up. So guys, thank you so much for joining the Milan Forum. Forza Milan to everybody. It was a pleasure.
Forza Milan, guys.
Forza Milan.
Bye,
Ciao,
guys. Forza Milan.
See you guys.
Positive. Hey, no problem, guys. Let's go to the final thing here. Where is it? All right. Okay, guys. See you next time. Thank you. Ciao.
Peace.